Bismillah, wa salatu wa salam wa rasulullah, wa ba'da, in the name of Allah, and peace and blessings of Allah be upon his last and final messenger. Family, friends, foes, haters, and hatettes. Welcome back to the Feachaz. I greet you all in peace and love in my heart. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So before we begin, please like, please subscribe, and please share. As you know, we got a hella haters up in here. And this story broke out, I think it was yesterday actually, concerning Andrew Tate, one of our favorite subjects over here. We have to talk about him, okay? We got to talk about him. And it's unfortunate we have to talk about him because, to be honest, he would not be a thing if it wasn't for your YouTubian dad elites. He would have just kind of like disappeared on the wayside somewhere, and we didn't have to worry about him. And now, what has happened now is so big. It's probably the biggest story since his actual arrest, right? For those of y'all who don't know, anyways, we're going to get into that. So make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you share, because we're going to get into a lot of stuff up in here today. Okay, we're going to get into a lot of stuff, man. All right, so just hold on to your horses. Make sure you grab your popcorn. Make sure you get your sodas or whatever you need, because this is going to be a hella ride up in this piece today. Right, family? So press number ones in the chat if y'all can hear. All right, number ones in the chat if y'all can hear. First of all, let's get that out of the way. And as you know, we at the Feachaz, we deal with issues that are related specifically to Black Muslims. And as I mentioned before, it is unfortunate we have to deal with Andrew Tate, because Andrew Tate is a very far-right influencer, white supremacist in the red pill. But not only that, he is an actual criminal, an admitted criminal, somebody who habitually brags about his crimes. And even after Islam, he would brag about his crimes. And not only that, you're talking about a person who, basically, essentially conveniently became Muslim to bolster his reach and pull throughout social media spheres. And your immigrant Muslim community was just all too happy to oblige. And since that time, he has been ripping off a lot of young, impressionable men, including Muslim men, especially Muslim men, right, mind you, in his, what we call Hustlers University and whatnot. You know, and we're not just talking about Westerners here. We're talking about including men in Pakistan, in the Arab world, Bangladesh, well, mostly the African or Afro, like these poorer countries, okay? Because they think that Andrew Tate is their Muslim brother, right? And I wonder where they got that impression from, okay? I wonder where they got that impression from. So he's been in Romania now, under arrest and whatnot, and recently he got a bunch of due charges, right? Now, I was going to cover that, but I said, let me leave this because, we handle Andrew Tate many times, right? Out here in the Black Muslim grassroots, the Feachaz channel. We talked about this so many times. We don't understand what this obsession is, what this dude is, from people who are allegedly supposed to be trusted with the dawah, okay? These folks who are allegedly trusted with the dawah, pushing this criminal in front of the Muslims and making the most excuses for this guy, where excuses are it's not even allowed to be had, right? But they are making the absolute most excuses for this degenerate. Y'all hearing me? So if y'all don't know, a couple of days ago, I think it was like maybe 6 or 7 days ago, or maybe last week sometime, right? He was recharged again, rearrested and recharged. Just to give you a quick background while we're coming into that. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Sister Iman. Okay. Number ones in the chat if y'all can hear me, please. I didn't see no number ones. Number ones in the chat if y'all can hear me, all right? All right. Anyways, about, I want to say like about 6 or 7 days ago, he got arrested and he was charged with, this time, an additional over 30 new victims were added to his present 7 to this case. We're talking over 30 new victims. Okay? Over 30. Okay? Including child trafficking, amongst other things. And, you know, human trafficking, all these other stuff, right? But the main thing is that he was charged with the child trafficking stuff. Okay? That's the main thing. But we're talking about 30. And many things have come out since that time. Okay? But mostly, the reason why we are gathered here today is because what happened yesterday, what Tate did. Okay? So let me just share with you exactly what Tate did. Okay? I'm going to share with, 1 second, family. Let me just go over here. Now, this is somebody who is heavily invested in the Andrew Tate case. That is, his handle is called Murdered by Crayons. And I'm not sure if we mentioned him before, right? But essentially the reason why he got involved with following up Andrew Tate is because he himself, he's a lawyer. And his son one day started coming to the table and started spewing out things that Andrew Tate was saying. And long story short, that's why he ended up following up with this whole Andrew Tate case. And he's got a whole bunch of material, right? So he says on his which X handle, I guess you could call it, right? He goes that Tate froze the Tate brothers' shares in 5 of their companies and funds that in 5 of their companies and the funds in the company's bank accounts. Okay, that's the first thing. That's incredibly major because they didn't do this before. Okay, they also seized 4 additional cars, 5 buildings, and 6 plots of land owned by these companies. So basically, they took everything. They did not leave anything for the Tates. They got everything, okay? Everything. So this is a sure sign. I don't know. I'm sure how you know, the judicial system works in Romania, but for me, when I'm seeing this, I'm like, they're about to take this to court. They already have more than enough evidence to convict him. They got like 75,000 pages of evidence, eyewitness statements, all kinds of stuff, right? All kinds of, and we'll get into the case later, right? But the main thing, what I wanted to show you was this, right? And I'll show you from exactly where Tate, whatchamacallit, from the actual Tate website. 1 second, yeah. Now this is a translation, okay? Remember, they're translating from Romanian to English, right? So the English is a little bit off, but you can get the gist of what they're saying, okay? So over here, this is the Tate investigative website, the government website. And following communiques, number 1 of 21 This is the date anyway, to one of the two dates, okay, between, looks like August 21st to August 22nd. Okay, 2024. Okay, the Office of Information and Public Relations within Directorate of the Investigation of Organized Crime and Terrorism is authorized to bring the following to the attention of the public. Okay, on the 29th of August 2024, in continuation of the criminal activities carried out by the case, the prosecutors of the Directorate for the Investigation of Organized Crime and Terrorism Central Structure ordered a non-disposal by applying the insurance seizure on the social shares owned by 3 of the defendants within the commercial companies. So we know who 2 of them are, Andrew and Tristan. I'm assuming the third one would be one of his bottom beats. Okay, we're gonna try to keep it as clean as possible tonight. All right, we're gonna try to keep it as clean as possible, y'all. Right. Anyways, the precautionary measure of the seizure was also applied to a number of 11 plots of land. Okay. And I give the locations here. I can't pronounce the names of those locations. And the constructions built on 5 of them, a total value being estimated over 2.5 million euros. Okay. Judicial activities are carried out together with police officers from OLAF, Organized Crime Fighting Services. We can make it clear that during the entire criminal process, the investigated persons benefit from the procedural rights and guarantees provided by the Code of Criminal Procedures, as well as presumption of innocence. So that is from DICOT directly. Okay. So right now, Andrew and Tristan Tate are posting on their X account, probably from their Motorola phones. They gotta go on the Motorola phones, okay, to post on their X accounts, family, because they got nothing now, like nothing, okay. And DICOT was nice enough to let them sleep in their empty warehouses that they call mansions and stuff. Okay. I mean, this is absolutely bonkers, right? This was before DICOT seized everything. I'm going to show you what Andrew Tate is saying here, because we're going to go deep in, because this is going to be connected to a lot of different things now, right? And we're going to see how I don't want to say the word corrupt, right? I'm trying to describe your YouTubian elites. I don't want to say that they're corrupt, because that may be a little bit too much. Maybe y'all can come up with some other synonyms for corrupt for me, and I gotta kind of like tone it down a bit, right? But these guys are definitely not to be trusted. They are definitely not to be trusted. Your YouTubian elites? Absolutely not. They have broken the trust of the Muslims. Okay, so let me just get this all queued up here, family. I want you all to hear what Andrew Tate, he himself, is saying about himself, family. Watch what he said. Watch this.
Me in jail, Pavel in jail, they're trying to put Trump in jail. The reason they're trying to lock up anybody who has a free mind is because they're coming to enslave us all.
Good morning, how are you?
So this is when he appeared in jail, right? Let me just get I think this was like maybe 2 days ago, before they raided him, right? Before they raided him, okay? He's comparing himself to Donald Trump and Pavlov, the owner of Telegram. Donald Trump has already been convicted of 48 felonies. Okay, he's the first American in history with a felony to run for president. Okay, and the only reason why he's able to do it is because he's a billionaire. He's convicted already. That's already done, dead and buried. Okay, he lost in his civil case for SA. Okay, for the assault in a, intimate nature. Okay. Let's keep watching. Andrew Tate appears in the Bucharest tribunal yesterday after new human trafficking charges were brought against him. Okay. These are the over 30 charges we're talking about. Okay. Let's keep watching,
The leader of Telegram, Pavel in France, for telling the truth, because they're so desperate to censor all information that anytime.
So now he's comparing himself to Pavel Durov, right? The CEO of Telegram. Okay. For y'all who don't know, Durov was arrested also recently in France, and we're going to get into that in a minute. Why we're getting into that, okay? Because remember what we keep saying on this channel, right? It's always YouTubian elites who are coming to save the day for the most degenerate white supremacists on digital spaces. Every single time. As long as they have one or two good things to say about Islam, they will platform them. And despite their crimes, despite their criminal records, despite their degeneracy, just say 1-2 nice words about Islam. It's your YouTubian elites that will give you a platform, and they will revive your career and defend you and all kind of stuff, right? So remember who he mentioned. He mentioned Pavel Durov, okay, and Donald Trump.
Anybody stands up and tells the truth about governments, they end up with some kind of case. They're charging him with child pornography and all this other garbage in France. What's he done? If you're going to get the person who's in charge of Telegram.
So remember, Andrew Tate, he himself said he charged him with, he's being charged with what? He's being charged with CP, okay? Andrew Tate himself is saying that he's being charged with CP. Durov is being charged with CP, okay? That's going to come back later, okay? So keep watching, y'all.
In trouble because it's being misused, then I guess we need to arrest the CEO of Toyota because they're used by ISIS, right? Pavel's done absolutely nothing wrong and he should be released immediately from French custody. It's disgusting what they're doing to him, and there's no freedom left in Europe.
There's no freedom left in Europe, Andrew Tate says. How many times has this, raccoon gone out of his way to make sure he lets the world know about his disdain for black people? How many times has he done that to make sure that the entire world knows that black people have victim mentality? Well, sure, it looks like a bunch of victim mentality now. You lost everything, Andrew Christ Tate. Couldn't happen to a nicer person, could it? It could not have happened to a better guy than Andrew Tate. Ain't you looking like a victim? Anyways, let's keep watching, y'all. Court denies prosecution's request to remand Tate in custody, but has placed him under house arrest, okay?
Wasting their time trying to put innocent men in jail.
Tate brother Tristan was placed under judicial control with reporting conditions.
You have a beautiful country full of beautiful people and 3 idiots at the...
Authorities seized 16 luxury cars, motorbike cash, and devices from the Tate's property last week. Okay. Despite this, Tate posted a video of himself driving at night just 2 days after the raid. Prosecutors are investigating new allegations of human trafficking, including trafficking of minors. The investigation also covers charges of forming a criminal group and money laundering.
Me in jail, Pavel in jail, they try and put Trump in jail.
Tate claims allegations are part of conspiracy aimed at silencing him and those with a free mind. Yep, you heard it here first, family. And Andrew Tate is the modern day Martin Luther King, family. He's the modern day Malcolm X. He is a victim of his activism. The government is trying to prevent him from sharing his message to the world of, marrying young girls and be masculine or whatever it is, right? This weirdo. His message of, whatchamacallit, Juneteenth is a fake N-word holiday. But why are we doing this today, family? Like, why? Because this is the Black Muslim grassroots. What does this have to do with Black Muslims? Y'all about to see. Y'all are about to see. Now, if y'all recall, it was Andrew Tate, he himself admitted that Durov, the owner of Telegram, CEO of Telegram, was arrested for CP charges. Okay? CP charges, right? We're going to get into that in a minute. We're going to get in detail about that. This is all connected, all important. Okay? So now, how many times have we said over here that every single time a white supremacist gets in trouble, you're going to find your YouTubian elites right there to run defense? How many times we said that? We say that all the time, right? Well, let me show y'all something, okay? 1 second, family. Let me get this all queued up for you. Now, when I saw this, I was absolutely shocked. Okay? I mean, these guys, when you think they couldn't sink any lower, they are out here having limbo competitions with cockroaches, okay? The bar is so low, it's nearly touching the floor now. That's how low they set the bar. Okay? Mohammed Ijab on his X, he got a link. He's just sharing the link. That's all he's doing, right? He's just sharing the link. And when you click on this link, it goes to YouTube. Let me click on the link, family. I'm going to click on the link, right? It's going to send me to YouTube. Okay, now I'm going to queue up the YouTube. Watch this, y'all. You can't make this crap up. And when you go on to YouTube, it goes to this channel called Critical Content News, which seems to be the alternative news outlet of your YouTubian elites. I never even heard of this YouTube channel before today. And when I was watching this piece, I was just stunned. I was absolutely stunned. And we're going to get into that in a minute. 1 second, y'all. Okay, so the title of this piece is called Arrest of Telegram CEO and Why Muslims Should Care. Even the title is cringe, family. If a CEO of a company is getting arrested, unless the CEO is directly funding some thing that has something to do with the Ummah in general, why should Muslims care? That ain't our business. That is not our business. You're talking about a social media company here. It is astonishing that you have some of these immigrant Muslims who will give you an entire list 200 companies to boycott in support of Palestine. And you have to memorize these 200 companies like you memorize Quran. Okay? Because if you don't, and if you go to one of these companies just by accident, you didn't happen to know that these are one of the 250 companies you got to boycott, right? They're going to take out your phones and say, you know, put you online and make you go viral and stuff. But we are about to support Telegram. Okay. Anyways, I ain't going to talk. Okay. I'm talking too much already. Okay. Like, subscribe, share me up on Patreon, family. Let's just watch this. Watch this, y'all. Okay. Again, the title: Arrest the Telegram CEO and Why Muslims Should Care. Okay. You don't see any other religious group doing this at all. Only the Muslims, and we're gonna get into that.
Assalamu Alaikum. Earlier this week, Telegram's founder and CEO Pavel Durov was arrested at a Paris airport. French authorities have now extended Durov's detention, citing an ongoing investigation into Telegram's alleged involvement in criminal activities, including money laundering.
Now, okay, let's keep watching, y'all.
Drug trafficking and cyberbullying. However,
You see what he said, right? I'm gonna remind that again. Look.
Including money laundering, drug trafficking, and cyberbullying.
He mentioned 3 things. Okay, just in case you missed it, one more again.
Alleged involvement in criminal activities, including money laundering, drug trafficking, and cyberbullying.
Money laundering, drug trafficking, and cyberbullying. Okay, just keep watching.
However, some analysts claim that the arrest could be politically motivated, connected to
Some analysts claim that this arrest could be politically motivated. Okay.
Telegram's perceived ties to Russia and Russia's controversial role in recent global politics. Another possible explanation might be Telegram's role sharing unfiltered news, particularly in war zones and politically sensitive areas.
So, Telegram's share of unfiltered news, okay? Particularly what's going on in Palestine and stuff, okay? Watch this, y'all.
For example, during the ongoing conflict in Gaza, Telegram has been a critical tool for documenting and disseminating information relating to the harsh realities on the ground. For many, especially Muslim communities around the globe, Telegram has been one of the few ways to see the truth of what's happening in Gaza. Now, some Western nations champion themselves as the guardians of free expression, condemning censorship in other countries whilst promoting the ideals of open communication. However, those that leverage this principle to challenge the dominant narrative are sometimes made subject to severe consequences. Perhaps Durov is facing a similar fate. If Telegram is silenced or heavily moderated due to this crackdown, what will that mean for the millions who rely on it to see what's happening in the world? Telegram has stated that it abides by European Union laws, including the Digital Services Act, and that its moderation practices are within industry standards. However, that may not be enough to satisfy governments that see this platform as a challenge to their authority. The Russian embassy in France has already demanded consular access to Durov and has accused the French government of evading engagement on the issue. Meanwhile, the French president, Emmanuel Macron, has denied any political motives behind the arrest, insisting that France remains committed to freedom of expression. It's worth noting that Durov has been at odds with the Russian government as well. In 2018, Russia attempted to block Telegram after Durov refused to hand over encryption keys to the Kremlin, a move that earned him praise from privacy advocates and hostility from Russian authorities. Some speculate that Durov's recent travels, including a stop to Azerbaijan, where he might have been lobbying for Russian support, could have contributed to his current predicament. Durov can be held for questioning for up to 96 hours before the French authorities must either charge him or release him.
Okay, so y'all heard the whole thing, okay? Y'all heard the whole thing. This is from Reuters, okay? Paris, Moscow, okay? Pavel Durov a Russian-born billionaire, founder and owner of Telegram messaging app, was arrested in Le Bourget airport outside Paris shortly after landing at his private jet late Saturday and placed in custody, 3 sources told Reuters. The arrest of the 39-year-old technology billionaire prompted a Sunday of a warning from Moscow to Paris that he should be according to his rights, and criticisms from ex-owner Elon Musk, who said that that free speech in Europe was under attack. Okay, so they're saying Elon Musk, of course, Elon Musk, right? Because Elon Musk, he's just a bastion for free speech, right? Y'all get me? All right. But anyways, they're saying this is an attack on free speech. Okay. That's what they say. Okay. There was no official confirmation from France of the arrest, but the 2 French police sources, one Russian source who spoke to the Commission on Anonymity, said that Durov was arrested shortly after arriving at Le Bourget airport on a private jet from Azerbaijan. One of the 2 French police sources said that ahead of the jet's arrival, police had spotted he was on the passenger list and moved to arrest him because he was a subject of an arrest warrant in France. Okay. He was subject of an arrest warrant in France. Who was the subject of an arrest warrant in France? Durov, okay? Telegram abides by EU laws, including the Digital Services Act, its moderation within its industry standards, and constantly is improving, Telegram said in a statement of arrest. Telegram's USA Pavel Durov has nothing to hide and travels frequently to Europe, it said, and it's absurd to claim that the platform and its owner is responsible for abuse of that platform, okay? Durov, who was dual French and United Arab Emirates citizenship, was arrested part of a preliminary, this is where we're going to get to, police investigation into allegedly allowing a wide range of criminals, graduated crimes, due to lack of moderators on Telegram and lack of cooperation with police. I'm going to repeat that one more again. He was arrested as a part of a preliminary police investigation allegedly allowing a wide range of crimes due to a lack of moderators on Telegram and a lack of cooperation with police. A third French police source said a cybersecurity gendarmerie unit and France's National Anti-Fraud Police unit are leading the investigation, and source said that investigating judges specialize in organized crime. We are waiting to prompt resolution in this situation. Telegram is with you all, Telegram said. The French Interior Ministry, Police Paris, prosecutor said no comment. Okay, let's go down a little bit. Okay, 1 second, family, 1 second. Hold on. Platform under scrutiny. Telegram is committed. Hold on, honey. Where is it? I'm trying to find a different one. Let me just open one of these things up here for you. 1 second, family. Just open this up. I took a screenshot out of a different article. I think it was from. Let me pull it up here because this is taking too long. One second, family. I just pulled this up for y'all, okay? ABC. Here it is. Okay. All right, so we're going to switch to this one here. That was Reuters. I'm going to read this article from ABC. 1 second. ABC. Let's get to the nitty gritty. Reuters is taking too long. Okay, so Pavel Durov, founder of CEO of messaging app Telegram, was arrested in Paris over allegations of platform used illicit activities such as drug trafficking and the distribution of child SUL, okay, abuse images. Do y'all catch that? So CP, He was arrested for illicit activities for, let's just drug trafficking and the distribution of SA. Now, you might recall actually, let me just read this part. Pavel, the founder and CEO of popular messaging app Telegram, was arrested in Paris over the weekend on allegation the platform is being used for illicit activities such as drug trafficking and distribution of SA images, child SA images. Okay, Jurov was, and anyway, it goes into whatever, right? But the point is, the whole point is that notice how your YouTubian elites seemed to neglect mentioning the child SA part. And y'all gotta ask yourselves, well, why would they do that? They mention everything else. I mean, that seemed to be a little bit more important than money laundering, in my opinion. I'm just saying. And furthermore, the way that they pitched it was that Telegram was doing a great job of reporting on what's going on in Palestine. I think if you're Muslim, you're pretty well informed of what's going on in Palestine without Telegram. I have not used Telegram to get a single, not one, of my messages about Palestine on Telegram. I haven't gotten any report on that. As a matter of fact, I said it before, I'm gonna say it one more again. In my humble opinion, Imam Dr. Omar Suleiman is doing some of the best work reporting on Palestine, and as well as Sean King. So much so that Sean King got kicked off of Instagram. Dr. Omar Suleiman is still reporting on Instagram about Palestine. He does it every single day. And I don't think any of us are missing the point. I don't think anybody in the world is missing the point. And nobody in the world is going to lose out on the reporting on Palestine because the Telegram CEO got shut down. Okay. Ain't nobody gonna miss the ain't nobody gonna miss the memo because of that. Nobody's gonna miss the memo because of that. Okay. So the question is, why is it that your YouTubian elites are rushing once again, to defend Zaddy? Why are they doing it? This is a very interesting comment from Brother Tawheed Omar. He says, my friend saw Omar Suleiman in a dream. He was in a cave with Netanyahu telling him why did he do what he did, and Netanyahu was denying it and nervous. Yeah, I mean, if you've seen some of Dr. Omar Suleiman's work, I think it's just a matter of time before he himself. I'm just shocked he's still on Instagram because he's putting out some really deep stuff. You know, the stuff that he's putting out is like mind-boggling, and he's been doing it since it broke out. Him, and as you know, Sean King, who got kicked off of Instagram for doing the same thing, and I'm astonished that Dr. Omar Suleiman hasn't been kicked off. Alhamdulillah, he hasn't been kicked off, but they've been doing some of the most incredible work about the covering on Palestine. Incredible work. May Allah reward them both. I mean, all right, but they did it without Telegram. Like, what is y'all talking about? There's a brother on my WhatsApp, right? He has a group, and he's posting stuff every single day about what's going on in Palestine, right? Nobody on earth was thinking to themselves, you know what? maybe Muslims should, come to the defense of Pavel Durov, because we might miss out on some Palestine news. But your Youtubian elites, they presented it like that. If y'all recall, my day ones will recall that we said maybe 3 or 4 years ago, we were talking about Daniel Hikikuchu. His whole platform is like a funnel, okay? The whole thing is like a funnel. So he uses his YouTube and his Facebook like his main marketing, okay? To kind of, this is where he hides. He hides his beliefs behind his YouTube. He's not going to show anybody his true beliefs on his YouTube or his Facebook. Then he introduces people to his blog, where he gets deeper into his belief system, right? But if you really want to know what he really believes, just go to his Telegram. Sign up to his Telegram. He's not hiding there. He's letting it all hang out. And we came out with receipt after receipt after receipt. Shortly after that, you found big YouTubers going to his Telegram, okay? Because they watch the Feachaz, right? The Feachaz like one of the best kept secrets on YouTube, right? Next thing you know, these guys are going to his Telegram, pulling out stuff on him, trying to refute him off his Telegram and stuff. Gee, I wonder how they got that information. Okay, but that's neither here nor there. The point is that if you want to keep your secrets, social media information secret, you're going to do it on Telegram because it's very secure, very, 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 very secure. Now, I want y'all to think about this. Every single time some degenerate, personality who said 1-2 nice words about Islam, as long as they are say 1-2 nice words about Islam, why is it that every single time you find your Youtubian elites always defending them? Every single time. They won't hold back. They won't say, you know what, maybe just stay away from this one just for a minute. They won't do any of that. They will legit push them forward for the whole Muslim world to see and prop them up. Not just push them forward, prop them up, give them big platforms like your Sneakos of the world. Now, family, number 1's for yes and number 2's for no in the chat. Sneako, is he a sexual degenerate? Yes or no? 1 for yes, 2 for no in the chat. We're taking polls today, okay? Let me see what y'all are saying, all right? Remember, I didn't know what a Sneako was until Muslims started. I had no clue who he was. It was the Muslims who propped this guy up even before he became Muslim. And now we can't get rid of this guy. White supremacist degenerate. So in case y'all didn't miss the question is, Sneako, is he a sexual degenerate? Yes or no? Even Josh, he said he won 1,000 times. Okay. What about Andrew Tate? Andrew Tate, is he a sexual degenerate? Yes or no? Mind you, Sneako was all over the internet. It's bleeding over. Stepmommy goes, yes, and he needs to renounce his perverted behavior. Mind you, Sneako's all over the internet trying to argue, make a case, on behalf of Islam. Sneako, mind you, is doing this on behalf of Islam and the Muslims for child marriage. He's doing this. He is out representing the Muslims, arguing with YouTubers, trying to bring the case for child marriage. Should Sneako be arguing with anybody about Islam? What about Andrew Tate? Is he a sexual degenerate? Yes or no? Yes or no? One's in the chat for yes, two's in the no for no, in the chat for no. Is Andrew Tate a sexual degenerate? Yes or no? One's in the chat for yes, two's in the chat for no. Let's see what you got. We're taking polls today. What about someone said both Tates are. She said both Tates are. So you don't say yes, and definitely an open one. Right? So far it's unanimous. They're both sexual degenerates. Okay. What about Myron Gaines, the self-hating Sudani, the walking definition of sellout and munafiq? Okay. Is he a sexual degenerate? Yes or no? One for yes, two for no. So far, we got unanimously. Nobody's saying no so far. Now, a single one of y'all is saying no. Everybody's saying yes. So we all agree Sneako's a sexual degenerate. We all agree both Tates, as stepmommy said, are sexual degenerates. What about the self-hating Sudani, the white supremacist in blackface, Myron Gaines from Fresh and Fit? So everybody agrees these are sexual degenerates, right? So why is it that every single time one of these deviants white supremacist, degenerates is on their way out, you always see your YouTubian da'i elites trying to save their careers. Every single time. Even if they're not Muslim, they will defend them. What is that guy, that actor guy? What's his name, man? So one of y'all mentioned to me earlier today. Let me see if I can find his name, y'all. But, you always find these guys defending white supremacists, but not just that, the white supremacists that not even white supremacists won't defend. Jordan Peterson will not defend Andrew Tate. Okay. Even though they agree on a lot of things politically, but he won't defend them because he recognizes he a deviant. Candace Owens is the other grift that's coming in. Mark my words, this grift is happening because the YouTubian elites, they can't wait to revive her dilapidated career, right? She won't even do an interview with Myra Gaines. She will not do an interview with Myra Gaines, nor should we do an interview with, what's his face? What's that guy? Nick Fuentes. But you got Daniel Hakikachu advising the Muslims to to listen to the far right personalities like Nick Fuentes. But not only that, you will see on YouTube right now, okay, Myron Gaines running religious debates with Daniel Hakikuchu and whoever that, I can't remember. I think it's Sam Shamoon or something like that. I think it's Sam Shamoon, right? Myron Gaines. He can't even keep his Muslim Sudani name. He can't do that. The man worked for the Department of Homeland Security. Department of Homeland Security, their only claim to fame is making the lives of Muslims hell. That's it. They were started because of Muslims. Department of Homeland Security. He worked for that. And now he's running religious debates because, you know, Muslims are all too happy to revive the career of this dilapidated munafiq, because he can spout the most racist, vile rhetoric, not even rhetoric. It's just the outright insane racism, absolutely insane racism, and they have no problems defending him. And it's only a matter of time before non-Muslims, because the non-Muslims are not doing this. The Christians are not doing this. Even the Christian right, they're not feeling Andrew Tate like that at all. As much as they are trying to get in good with the Christian right is not doing it. They're not putting the brand of their religion next to Andrew Tate. But your YouTubian that elites, these big channels like Muhammad Hijab and the Dean Show and Daniel Haqiqi, massive channels. They are the ones who are running defense for these dudes. But I digress, family. Let's keep going, yeah. Sorry, family. The link is in the chat. The link is in the chat for anybody who wants to hop on. Right, but we're gonna continue right now. Okay, just give me a second, y'all. Let's cue up the next thing. 1 second, y'all. Man, this is totally insane, family. Let me get to the comments real quick. Let me see if anybody. Let's have a look here. So Allah, he says, Feachaz, I'm watching your past 2 weeks. Most of what do you do attack white revert Islam online, Muslim apologists. Why, please? Well, they are trying hard to promote Islam. Do you hate whites? This is what Allah is saying. Family, do I hate white? You know, this is absolutely incredible, okay? It is absolutely astonishing and incredible that you can see with your own eyes the evidence that we're putting out here in front of the whole world to see. And instead of asking, why are these Muslims in bed with white supremacists, you're going to ask the Feachaz, why is the Feachaz attacking these Muslims who are embedded in white supremacists? Like, it's like Twilight Zone backwards thinking, not to put pressure on the brother Allah, right? not, you know, but why do you have energy for us? Shouldn't you be over at Muhammad Hijab channel asking him, you know, why did he say that Andrew Tate has better qualities than the biblical Jesus? Shouldn't you be asking him that? Why are you asking me? Shouldn't you be asking Daniel Haqiqi? Why is he calling George Floyd fentanyl Floyd? And Ma'Khia Bryant, stabby girl, and he always has some of the most vile things to say about people who are black people who are murdered by police. Shouldn't you be asking him that? Why are you asking us? Why were you attacking them? It is our right in Islam to attack them. It is from the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ to harshly attack people who are racist. Give me one example of the Prophet ﷺ saying to one of the Sahaba who had this type of jahiliyyah in them, this type of ignorance of racism in them, one example from the sunnah where the Prophet says, you know what, make excuses for your brother. They're working hard to make da'wah. Just give me one. It is astonishing. And he doesn't ask these folks if they hate black people. He asks us if we hate white people. Like, what? What? This is like some Twilight Zone stuff, man. Like, are we watching the same things here? Are we looking at the same things? How is it that you can see this happening before your very eyes, and instead of going after the ones who are the actual criminals who are committing the crimes, you go out after the ones who are saying, hey, this is a crime, right? It's not making sense. It's not making sense at all. Brother Jeb Black, he says, no, he doesn't hate whites, but I hate those who think that white society in the West is normal. It's not normal. Of course not. Of course, white society in the West is not normal. We all know this anyways. We're from here. You're talking about people who just got here, right? And they have no history in the West other than what they saw on TV back in their home countries, right? So that's just like totally crazy, man. It's crazy. We just finished showing Andrew Tate. You know what? Let me just show y'all some stuff, okay? Because he thinks Feachaz hates white people for some strange reason, right? We hate white supremacists, and every self-respecting Muslim should hate a white supremacist. If you're a Muslim, if you're a believer in Allah on the last day, you should absolutely hate them. These are the enemies of Allah on earth. You couldn't have a more clear enemy on earth other than a white supremacist, okay? These are the folks that brought you Zionism in Palestine, white supremacists. These are the folks that brought you apartheid in South Africa. These are the folks that brought you redlining and slavery and all kinds of wicked, evil things. Apartheid. These are the folks that have wiped out entire nations. Some, for example, American Indian tribes were wiped out of existence because of white supremacy. Because of white supremacy. The entire world is chopped up into countries because of white supremacy. The whole earth, okay? Resources are being usurped out of your own lands because of white supremacy. And when we say it, you don't have a problem with the white supremacists. You have a white problem with us for saying it. This is self-hate. This is self-defeatism. Rather, you should be questioning yourself on why you don't have the courage and the bravery to stand up to the enemies of Allah on earth instead of questioning us for actually doing the work that you can't do. I mean, this is astonishing. It's absolutely astonishing. Let me show y'all something. I'm going to pull a video I have on only just for the members on the channel because of the contents, okay? It's just for the members only, but I'm going to show y'all something. Actually, you know what? Let me just show y'all this stuff here first, because I don't want this video to get demonetized. If I show that video, I'll probably get demonetized for sure. 1 second, family. So let me just get one of these videos up here. Let me cue it up for y'all. If anybody wants to hop on, just hop on, family. One second, family. Let's cue this up. No, not this one. Let me get another one. No, not this one either. This one. Let's get this one instead. Okay. Listen to this. Listen to this, okay? Let me just get this up for y'all, okay? Because this is edited, so I'm going to show y'all this instead. So that way, at least the video won't get demonetized if I show this one. So this is Myron Gaines. I want y'all to listen to what he say, okay? Mind you, your YouTubian elites, they are having religious debates with, with Myron Gaines doing the moderation, okay? Self-hating Sudani Myron Gaines. Anti-black Myron Gaines. Wearing KK hat or Myron Gaines. Kicked off and demonetized of YouTube Myron Gaines. Why was he demonetized? Because of outrageous racism Myron Gaines. Listen to what he said, okay? Watch this, y'all. Like this is total insanity. 1 sec. Let me show y'all something. Look here. So he's calling the guy, you're a dumb N-word. You're saying some stupid S right now. Okay? Because it's edited out so that, you don't have to hear it. Okay? Just keep watching. He's saying the full N-word. Your stupid fried chicken, watermelon eating N-word, running around with guns, okay? So to pronounce words correctly to black people, right, it's considered raccoonery because, that's black culture. Black culture is to speak with a 50-word vocabulary, according to Myron Gaines. Okay? According to Myron Gaines. Let's keep watching, y'all. Did y'all hear all this? Y'all hearing all this? Okay? So y'all are attacking us for attacking this. Like what? What is going on here? You have zero work for that? Don't you have anything to say about that? Why are you over here? Go advise them. Like, what are you doing over here? We're doing it because you are not brave enough to do it. As a matter of fact, most of y'all are okay with racism. You're fine with it. You have no problem with it. You're okay with racism. Just say it. That's why you're okay with having white supremacists on Muslim platforms. But the second, we say anything to defend ourselves, you don't have a problem with the white supremacists. You have a problem with us. So, like, what are we doing here? Did you go and advise Muhammad Hijab about this? Did you advise, whatchamacallit, Daniel Kikuch about this? Did you advise any of them? Why are you over here? Why are you telling us that? Are we the ones who are saying, stupid effing white folks and effing white folks and stupid effing white folks, mayonnaise eating white folks and whole town hillbilly marrying my cousin? Are we saying all that stuff? Are we the ones doing this? We're not doing that. Muslims are doing this and they're promoting this stuff. Y'all are tripping. Y'all are straight tripping, man. Did y'all hear that? That was an easy version. That was just a light version. Y'all ain't making any sense. Like, for real. I didn't see a single Muslim, not one, a Muslim say anything about this. And there's so much more where that came from, which we covered on this channel already. Y'all are making zero sense, man. I'm supposed to be a Muslim brother with this, and I'm supposed to be a Muslim brother with anybody who associates with this. Y'all are tripping. Go be Muslim brothers with a Zionist. Like, what are you talking about here today? What are you talking about? Y'all are tripping. Go be Muslim brothers with the Zionists then. We don't do that anymore. We don't sit here and listen to you vilify us and remove anything resembling dignity from us in order to keep the brotherhood. We don't do that anymore. Those days are over. You get it? The Prophet ﷺ never did it. The Sahaba never did it. And we are not doing it. Until we see some of y'all attacking these white supremacist Muslims with all the energy that you have for us, with that same energy, we ain't got nothing to talk about. You're tripping. Where is your evidence that you approached Muhammad Hijab about this? Where is your evidence that you approached Ali Dow about this? Where's your evidence that you approached, especially Daniel Kikuchu about this? Where is your evidence that you went to Abdullah Andalusi and start talking about, Abdullah Andalusi, what you said was out of pocket about CRT and black folks? Where's your evidence for this? It's right. All of this stuff is like right there on the internet, fam. It's like right there. Where are the Muslims putting in that work against this stuff? Aladdin, Free Palestine. You're live. What you got for us, brother?
Salaam Alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. What you got?
Am I coming clear, inshallah?
Yeah, you're coming through.
Alhamdulillah. I hope that you still remember me from your last stream. I joined.
Alhamdulillah. I remember you, of course. Yeah.
Good, alhamdulillah. First of all, the video you played a while ago, there's no sound whatsoever. There's no sound, and nobody heard you. And they typed several times in the live chat text, no sound. But you didn't know.
Sorry about that. But I quoted some of the things he was saying, and that was just the light stuff, right? I can get even way more than that, anyways. Right. So let me just get some stuff, anyways. Right. So you can see in post.
I just wanted to share something with you, inshallah. If you don't mind.
Go ahead.
Inshallah. Just first, relax. Take a deep breath. You're breathing so hard. I don't know why. You're so, high temper or something. Just relax. Jazakallah khair. Barakallah fi. We all do this for the sake of Allah And our purpose is, inshallah, to reach Jannah and to satisfy Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Alhamdulillah.
Okay.
So I have nothing personal against you or against nobody. Ya Akhi al-Kareem, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said several times in several hadith. First of all, لا فرق بين عربي على عجمي ولا أبيض على أسود إلا بالتقوى. There is no difference between a white or black or an Arab and non-Arab, except in their deity, the way they fear Allah and the way they obey Allah. Prophet Muhammad says also as well, أنصر أخاك ظالما أو مظلوما. That means you support your brother if he was doing wrong, right or wrong. They answered, O Messenger of Allah, we know how to support him if he's doing right. So how can we support him if he's doing wrong? Prophet Muhammad says, you advise him in the you advise him in the best way you could to correct what he's doing. I mean, and there are so many hadith. Prophet Muhammad says, التمس لأخيك 70 عذرا أو أكثر. And some scholars say that this weak hadith, as long as it does not contradict the Quran, you see, that means you find, if you can, 70 or more than 70 excuse for your brother if he is doing wrong. So the point I'm here, Ya Akhi, Barakallah fi, inshallah, we can advise them. I don't know the brothers, yani, I just see them online. And as I told you in the past, all I care about is قال الله وقال الرسول. What Allah said and what the Prophet Muhammad said.
Well, alhamdulillah, I'm very happy you care about call Allah wa qala Rasul. Alhamdulillah, right? So the question I have for you is, why are you quoting that hadith about there's no superiority of the white over the black or the Arab or non-Arab to us? Why are you quoting it to us?
I'm just giving you things that Allah and our beloved Muhammad spoke about in Quran and Sunnah in regard of black and white. Because
yes, I understand, but I want to know why you quoted that to us specifically. Why did you bring this hadith now?
I'm coming to it, inshallah. Barakallah fi.
Okay.
And I hope that you'll accept. I hope that you'll accept this from me with an open heart. I'm not here to argue with you or to fight with you. Barakallah fi. I love you.
Yeah, that's okay. No worries.
Allah. Jazakallah khair. Akhi Kareem, I've been watching you. Actually, I've seen you first time when you joined the channel of this little kid boy, the anti-Islamophobia. I don't want to mention his name. You see? And you were telling him, okay, now I'll give you a chance to make more money. I loved you at that time. I loved you since that time. And I subscribed to your channel. Wallahi. And I watched your channel. And as I told you in the past, I'm not that young. I am almost 60 years old. Now, when I come to you, I've been listening to you for the past maybe 10 days, I think, whenever I catch you online. So I see you always talking about white premises, black, white, black, white, white, black, black, white. So the impression that I got between me and myself, I'm telling you about myself, that you have an issue with black and white. I don't know why. So therefore, I was trying to give you some hadith from Prophet Muhammad.
You understand?
All equal before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It doesn't matter what's your color. As a matter of fact, the first muaddin was Bilal and he was black.
Okay. Alhamdulillah, I'm very happy that you reminded me about this hadith. How many of these Muslims that are inviting actual white supremacists to their channels did you tell this hadith to?
I don't actually bother to go to their channels, and I don't watch them that much. To be honest with you,
because this hadith we talked about this on this hadith on this channel many times, right? Because I know you're new here, right? So we talked about this specific hadith, and every single time you find like an immigrant such as yourself, like somebody who just got here, right? Quoting this hadith, they only quote it to black people. Like we're the ones who need to hear it.
I'm not in America. I'm not immigrant.
Okay, alhamdulillah. So alhamdulillah, you're in the Muslim country.
I'm originally Palestinian, and I asked
Yeah, I know. But are you in a Muslim country right now?
No. I'm located for the past 30 or maybe 34 years in Southeast Asia. And I'm talking to you right now from the Philippines. I'm now in the Philippines.
Mashallah. Excellent. All right. So every single time we hear this hadith from, somebody who is Muslim, generationally Muslim, right? It's like such as yourself, like an Arab or a Pakistani or whatnot. They're only quoting this to black people, and they will sit there and they will watch actual racists in their community, and they can have nothing to say to them. They will not quote this to the racist Arab who is actually practicing actual racism, and they won't quote this hadith to them. Right now, as we speak, there is actual real slavery going on in Libya, Muslim country, where Arab Muslims are enslaving black Africans, including Muslims, and forcing them into all kinds of human trafficking institutions, not excluding forced prostitution. Okay, but you can't quote this hadith to them. Have you ever quoted this hadith to a racist Arab ever in your life?
I talk to Arab all the time, and I quote all.
Yeah, but I'm asking about talking about this specific, because I know you're a Palestinian. I know you know some racist Arabs. It's impossible for me to know racist Arabs and you not to know them. I know you know them. Have you ever advised them with this hadith?
I advise Arab and non-Arab all the time, alhamdulillah.
I'm talking about this hadith. I know you advise Arab all the time.
Same hadith. Yeah.
Okay, and you told the Arab who was practicing racism at the time they were practicing racism this hadith, correct? Is that what you're trying to say to me?
Akhil Karim, I never encountered any Arab who was racist with me. I have no idea about that. So I don't talk about.
Okay, well then we live in different worlds then, right? We live in different worlds, right? Because we face racism all of the time. You don't need to quote that hadith to us because we are not looking at Arabs as we are superior to Arabs or white folk. And we don't have any history of that. But you will find a history of Arabs not only looking at other folks as superior to them, but actually practicing it. That's what we're saying. So that hadith is more relevant for those folks, not for us. You don't have a single black Muslim on earth that says I am superior to my white Muslim counterparts. But you will find white Muslims, you will find Arab Muslims, you will find Pakistani Muslims actually believing this and practicing this type of superiority to other folks. I'll let Brother Tawheed come in real quick. Just hang on, Brother Allah. You'll get another chance. Okay, just give me a second, all right? There's another brother coming in here. Okay. Go ahead, Brother Tawheed. Brother Tawheed?
Yeah, Feachaz. Bro, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead. What you got for us, brother?
Yeah, I'm for the most part, I'm listening in right now. But what I would say is that I think as a Muslim, I don't like to reject the sentiments of any of my Muslim brothers, man. Especially people who have been through oppression. I like to hear them out. Yeah, that's what I'd say right now. For that part.
All right, Jazakallah khair. Brother Jet Black. Go ahead, brother.
Assalamu alaikum, billah.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. What you got for us, brother?
I wanted to look at that.
Just before you continue, Brother Jet Black, right, Brother Allah, we respect you, and we're very happy to have you as a guest here on the Feachaz, right? So don't feel any ways, okay? Because we're having very honest conversations here, right? And these are the type of messages that brothers like you need to hear, right? Because like you said, you don't experience racism. We experience racism like we are black. We experience it, okay? You don't have to convince us that we are not superior to other folks. You have to convince the people who feel superior that they can't feel superior to other folks, right? So go ahead, Brother Jet Black. Go ahead.
Okay. So Jazakallah khair, Bilal, for covering this topic a lot. My relatives outside of my children have decided they're not going to accept Islam. And granted, there's the part of that which is up to them. And I've had conversation with them about why they won't, even though they've been really nice to me. But the thing they always bring up is the lack of equality in between Muslims and actual practice. They can't bring it up in the religion itself, but they pretty much say, well, if it's really in the religion, then when are the Muslims going to practice it? How are we supposed to even know? How do we know that one day some big bearded tragic desert mulatto, that's what they call non-black Muslims, is not going to jump out of the woodwork with some hadith or something to justify the way that they treat the darkest people on the planet. And when they say that, they're not just talking about black folks either. They're talking also about the darkest of Indians, along with the way that black folks get treated, or the darkest of the Arabs that would not be considered black. So while Al-Adin is correcting us, and he's not going to them and correcting them at this point, the thing is that that's exactly why it is that many people really think that Islam is no different from Christianity that was used to oppress us. And the other thing, Al-Adin, you have to remember that when you say this to black folks, and nobody is saying this to anyone that's not black, they're only saying this to black folks who fight back, or maybe to some dark-skinned Indians if they fight back as well. Here's the thing. Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam didn't say that there was no farq bayna al-aswad wal abyad. He didn't even call white people abyad. He said ahmar. Now either that's what they called white folks back then, or there were no white people in the audience to whom he was talking. It's one of those two. It could be either one. So that's one thing that everybody, they always quote him as saying abyad, as if abyad was actually even mentioned. It wasn't even mentioned. The other thing too, and the last thing, Al-Adin, is that he said illa bitaqwa, illa bitaqwa. If black people don't have a concept that we're better than other people just because we're black, and other people have a concept that they're better than us because they're not black, then that means we have more taqwa than they do. That's one of the first things that actually means. So even when Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said illa bitaqwa, right now everybody is proving that they have less taqwa than whoever's darker than them on average. They're proving this against themselves by insisting that they're somehow better, even if they are doing it subconsciously and not realizing it. The other thing is that you mentioned that you're in Southeast Asia. I will assume that it's Indonesia or Malaysia. If it's Malaysia, then you probably already know that they don't like y'all anymore. They stopped tolerating y'all about 2018 to 2019. They got sick of Arabs over there. And what were the reasons that they got sick of Arabs? Well, Malaysians aren't racist. They don't walk around hating anybody based on race. So that means it's something that is cultural. And I'm saying that it is a cultural sickness amongst Arabs, not just Palestinians or just Libyans. No, it comes with speaking Arabic. If there is a cultural sickness amongst Arabs that causes you all to correct black people and quasi-black people for defending ourselves more than you would correct white supremacists for their white supremacy. Thank you, Bilal, for giving me this time.
Jazakallah khair. And just to clarify, Brother Ali, he mentioned he was in the Philippines, and what you said there, Jet Black, is exactly what we're saying, right? Why are you correcting us? Are we the ones practicing racism? Where are these racist black folk anywhere on earth? That's what we want to know. If you were practicing the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, right, you will be fighting the actual racist. You don't fight the one who's oppressed, you fight the oppressor.
I'm still looking for these black racists because I can't even get black folks anywhere in any nationality. It doesn't matter the cultural group. I can barely get us to love ourselves the way that other group that paler people love themselves.
Exactly. You know? Like yeah, go ahead, Brother Alan. Go ahead.
You see, I don't like to interrupt anybody while you're talking, so I'm listening. Once you tell me go, I speak. Jet Black, allow me to correct you, but please don't get offended. Okay? Number one, you spoke about Malaysia. Have you ever been to Malaysia? I've been to Malaysia several times.
Twice.
Nobody, let me tell you something. Nobody loves Arab, with all the respect to everybody. There's no difference between Arabi and Ajami, except in taqwa. But nobody love and respect Arabs as much as I've seen in Indonesia and Malaysia. And sometimes out of ignorance, they just come and they start touching you, thinking that touching you is a blessing for them, saying, you are the one who saved us from hellfire when you brought Islam into our land. So when you said that there is racism in Malaysia and Indonesia, you are mistaken, my brother. That's not true. I've been living among them for the past, since 1986. I left the Middle East when I was 17, and now I am 60 years old, and I travel all around Southeast Asia, and I know them very well, and I deal with them too much, alhamdulillah, in da'wah. That's number one. Number two, you spoke about the hadith, there is no white or black. Well, I quote you Sahih Bukhari and Sahih Muslim. It says Abyad al-Aswad, Arabi and Ajami. You want to accept it, alhamdulillah. You don't accept it, it's up to you. That's not me. That's what I quote from Sahih Bukhari, Sahih Muslim, and other Sahih Hadith books. Number 3, Ya Akhil Kareem, I am not here to attack you or to be against you or against anybody. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Holy Quran, فَذَكَّرْ إِن نَفَعَتِ الذِّكْرَ. And he said, فَذَكَّرْ إِنَّمَا أَنْتَ مُذَكِّرٌ. And that's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Holy Quran. وَذَكِّرْ فَإِنَّ الذِّكْرَ تَنْفَعَ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. I'm here to remind myself first before reminding you. And when I speak about any Islamic topic, as I told you, I always quote Quran and Sunnah. I speak according to what Allah says and to what Prophet Muhammad says. Then after that, Allah says, فَاسْأَلُوا أَهْلَ الذِّكْرِ إِن كُنتُمْ لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. Ask the people of knowledge, as ulama, as scholars. I go to them and I learn from them, alhamdulillah. You can call me as muqallid. I am an imitator. So I learn from them. Allah says in the Holy Quran, Ya Akhi, several times Allah spoke about racism. For example, Allah spoke in Surah Al-Hujurat, chapter 49, verse 11. Allah said, لا يسخر قوم من قوم عسى أن يكونوا خيرا منهم ولا نساء من نساء عسى أن يكون خيرا منهن. Which means no nation should make fun of other nations, even though you are or they are better than you. Or women making fun of other women, even though you are or they are better than you. We are all equal before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah said again in Surah Al-Hujurat, the same chapter, 49 verse 13. يا أيها الناس إنا خلقناكم من ذكر وأنثى وجعلناكم شعوبا وقبائل لتعارفوا إن أكرمكم عند الله أتقاكم إن الله عليم حكيم. O humanity, indeed we created you from male and female and made you into peoples and tribes so that you may get to know one another, each other. Surely the most noble of you in the sight of Allah is the most righteous among you. Allah is truly all-knowing, all-aware. Allah says again, last verse in Surah Al-Rum, chapter 30, verse 22. وَمِنْ آيَاتِهِ خَلْقِ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ وَاخْتِلَافِ أَلْسِنَتِكُمْ وَأَلْوَانِكُمْ. This is the most important for you. وَأَلْوَانِكُمْ إِنَّ فِي ذَلِكَ لَآيَاتٍ لِلْعَالَمِينَ. And one of his signs, Allah's signs, is the creation of the heaven and the earth and the diversity of your languages, your tongues, and your colors, the color of your skin, black, white, yellow, red, whatever. Surely in this are signs of those of sound knowledge. So this is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala spoke in some of the verses about racism, which has no place in Islam. When you and me, akhi, pray in the masjid and salat jama'ah congregation, the imam said always, what's that? Siddul khalal, which means close any space in between you. استقيموا واعتدلوا رحمكم الله. استقيموا واعتدلوا أثابنا وإياكم الله. سدوا الخلل, سدوا الفجوات. Close any space in between you, shoulder to shoulder, feet to feet. Why is that? Ulama said the purpose of this, for not allowing the Satan or Shaitan to come between us and create racism. So that's what I know, ya akhi, about racism in Islam. If you want to accept it, alhamdulillah. If not, jazakallah khair. That's the purpose.
Jazakallah khair, brother Ada. Let me tell you something, brother Ada. Every black Muslim has heard every hadith and ayah you just quoted hundreds of times, right? So again, the question is, are you reminding Arabs and Pakistanis of these ayats and hadith? Because we don't need reminding of that.
Yes,
there
I
is
do.
not.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
And if you
all
want,
right, khalas. If you're doing it, then khalas, you're with us and we are with you. Alhamdulillah.
If you want to see it, you can go to my channel and you can watch me live, showing my face, opening my cam, discussing about all this and about racism. Yeah. I'm not afraid to do this as long as I please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Like I'm doing it with you,
yeah, alhamdulillah. As long as you're doing that, then we are with you and you're with us, okay?
And I love you all for the sake of Allah.
And we love you as well for the sake of Allah. And don't think this is like an echo chamber. It's not. It's not an echo chamber, right? We are here because of the actual racism that exists in the Muslim community, and it's being fostered and nurtured by actual da'is. That's why we are here. Did you get that?
Go
ahead.
those people who has hundreds of thousands and some of them millions of followers in YouTube, you call them guys. I call them people who's trying to preach Islam, but unfortunately they don't have enough knowledge even to preach Islam. But they are trying the best they could, the best they can.
I don't believe that at all. But that's a different story for a different day. We'll get into that maybe another.
Okay,
I want to give. I want to give this.
I'll step up. Allow me to leave. جزاك الله خير. بارك الله.
Any time. ياخذ من لك يا شيخ.
الله يجزيك الجنة. حفظك الله ورعاك. السلام عليكم.
الأخوان أي وقت. Anytime you want to come, تفضل معنا. Okay. حياكم الله brother Ada. Okay. Expert.
Salaam Alaikum.
Assalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. What you got for us, brother?
Yeah, just saw your stream. What's the topic?
Oh, I know this guy, bro. This is reactionary.
Okay. Oh, is it really?
Oh yeah. No, what's the topic? What are you guys talking about?
What you got? What you got, man?
I don't know. Are you talking about Andrew Apostate?
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. We already got into his new charges and everything, and
what was Allah doing? He's defending him, or?
No. He's shocked about our very strong stances against racism. So he just came in to give us his 2 cents.
What, to not be strong against racism?
Yeah. So what you got, expert? What you got for us, man?
Don't know. Just wanted to see what the topic was. That's all.
All right. Let's get back to businesses at hand. Okay. I'm gonna put. Actually, let me just put the video because it's late now, anyways. Right. I'm gonna put this video on that I said I wasn't gonna put, so that people can see. Inshallah. 1 second. What we're talking about. All right. So this video for sure is not getting monetized. 1 second here. Let's get this up. Right, so this is on the members page.
Your members page?
Yeah, my members page, right? So
how much is membership?
Yeah, so we won't show the whole thing, but we'll show it just enough so you can get the gist of it. Okay, so just to give you background, you guys remember Ryan Garcia, the boxer?
Yes.
Okay, remember how he went bonkers against black people and Muslims? Okay, so this is what we're talking about now. 1 second.
Okay, so then it came out that Ryan Garcia is like a really disgusting racist. Like, he's a vile racist. I don't know why Christians were celebrating him and promoting him, but these audio discussions came out from Twitter, like Twitter Spaces, or X Spaces, where Ryan Garcia is spewing the most vile anti-black racism. He just keeps saying the N-word.
A few minutes later.
You know, because that's why I won't stop saying the hard N and stuff. And a random nigger in the trees just comes down and kills it. Offended by the fact I just said the word nigger, then the murder. And you can't handle the tears that will roll down your face as one of these tree niggers comes down and just slaughters everything you just worked for.
So you heard Daniel Hakikuchu. He says, I don't know why Christians defend this guy, right? Meanwhile, he invites not even a Muslim, a Christian, right, who's doing the exact same thing that Ryan Garcia does. And the video is way longer. So this dude is like, he's the ops, man. In case you didn't catch it, listen what he said again, one more again, right? And on his channel, Owen Benjamin says, that's why I won't stop saying the hard R. On Daniel's channel. You can't make this crap up.
And what did Daniel say in response?
Nothing. What do you think he says? He has racist, he has white supremacists on his channel all the time. That's a staple. That's a staple feature of his channel.
Okay, so then it came out that Ryan Garcia is like a really disgusting racist. Like he's a vile racist. I don't know why Christians.
So he says Ryan Garcia is a really disgusting, vile racist, right? And he doesn't know why Christians do
were
what?
celebrating him and promoting him, but
He doesn't know why Christians are celebrating him and promoting him. Meanwhile, he celebrates and promotes Andrew Tate. He celebrated and promoted Jordan Peterson, Daniel Gikaju. He did all this. Okay. He invited whatchamacallit, Mark Collette to his channel to have a bromance on his channel. What he called a debate, but it's really a bromance, right? But we are the ones who are overreacting. It's us. Y'all are tripping.
And you made a good point that these Muslim Dawah people, they got video after video talking about the Nation of Islam as a racist organization. But you never see video after video talking about white supremacism and the racism that exists because of that. They're silent on that.
It's white supremacy that dismantled the Muslim world. White supremacy did that, right? But they have no work for that at all.
None.
Right? But anyways,
Exactly.
let's keep.
these audio discussions came out from Twitter, like Twitter Spaces, or X Spaces, where Ryan Garcia is spewing the most vile anti-black racism. He just,
Mind you, Daniel Kikiju does the exact same thing. He spews vile anti-black racism on his Telegram. Okay, vile, which you put on his channel as well. All right. Anyways, let's keep watching, y'all.
keep saying the N-word.
A few minutes later.
You know, because that's why I won't stop saying the hard N and stuff. And a random nigger in the trees just comes down and kills it. Offended by the fact I just said the word nigger, then the murder. And you can't handle the tears that will roll down your face as one of these tree niggers comes down and just slaughters everything you just worked for.
He says there's no such thing as Palestine. He says that, he's the KKK.
Let's see if Pearl Soul, you have to wear that too.
This is Myron Gaines. Okay, y'all see this, right? This is Myron Gaines. He just did the debate with whatchamacallit, Daniel Kikaju, the same guy that says Ryan Garcia, he says he's the KKK. Myron Gaines, look, he's wearing the KKK hood. He is saying he's the KKK. You can't make this crap up.
Oh, that was with his beef with Abraham Preach, I think, was it?
Yeah, that's right. Anyways, let's keep watching, y'all.
Yeah, of course. How am I going to break this down if I'm not in my proper attire as a race?
In all of this, let's listen to what he says. So this is the hero for a lot of Christians, actually, unfortunately.
Bro, is he retarded? There's no such thing as Israel. There's no such thing as Palestine. If God chose the Israel people to be the promised people, that's it. We don't have no choice, you fucking weirdos. There's no such thing as Palestine.
There's no such thing as Palestine.
You dumb mother. If you go against Israel, you go against God's promise.
Go against Israel, you go against God's promise.
Go anti-Israelis. Oh, I hate them. Go. Anti Go. Hey, are you black?
Yeah, so just a lot of the bleeps are the N-word. Like, he just keeps spamming the N-word.
I'm anti-black.
I'm anti-black.
Yeah.
So he's saying that he's anti-black. This is Daniel Kiku's Telegram, right? This is direct from his Telegram, okay? This is what he posted. This is what he's posting. Blogger behind the report alleging sexual misconduct by Martin Luther King Jr. says other publications rejected the story because they lack courage. He posts this on his Telegram. You can't make this crap up. So who's anti-black now? He posts this on his Telegram, but he doesn't post 26 women have accused Trump of sexual misconduct. He won't post that, but he'll post stuff against Martin Luther King. Daniel Hakikachu family. You get it? Y'all are tripping, man.
KKK. And he's using the N-word with a hard R.
The Klan was right about a lot of man.
What? The Klan. Did you hear what he said? You hear what Myron Gaines just said? Did you catch it? Yes or no? I'm going to put it back one more again. 1 second, y'all. Listen to what Myron Gaines says. Mind you, he was just on with Myron Gaines in a religious debate. Listen what Myron Gaines says. This was just a few weeks ago.
He's using the N-word with a hard R.
The Klan was right about a lot of man. Well,
the Klan was right about a lot of S. Myron Gaines. What is it possible the Klan could be right about? But we are the ones who need the hadith about, which one? There's no superiority of the white over the. We need to hear that? It's us? y'all are crazy, man. You're really crazy. Look what's going on here. Y'all are crazy, man. Y'all are tripping. Anyways, keep watching.
The Klan was right about a lot of.
Even Fresh, that's too much for him. Walter, it's too much for Fresh. He's like, he's like even doing a double take on that.
Hey, no, man, they're right about a lot.
This is a sick Negro.
All right, can you move over a little bit?
Okay, moving over.
Fucking change.
You see out of that, you fucking sand nigger.
But it's okay.
White supremacist sand nigger.
Shut up. Bro, you're the worst of the worst. You eat dogs and you kill people as a black guy. And an Asian.
What?
Yeah, true.
Pause right. This nigga right here is funny. He's funny, this nigga.
I don't condone this N-word.
Oh. Y'all see that? And he's doing interviews with Muhammad Hijab. Anyways, we're not going to play the whole video because this is a lot of like. Anyways, y'all get the gist, man. Y'all get the gist. If you want to see the whole thing, just sign up to my membership or go to my Patreon. You'll be able to see the whole thing, right? But what you got, expert? What you think about that?
Yeah, I think, as you said, there's an appeal to the lucrative far right market on social media. That the Dawah, tagging these people.
Yeah. And it's not just tagging, like they're doing they're platforming them. They're working with them.
Don't know if you saw Dilly Hussein in the UK. He done interviews with Jada Franson and Nick Griffin and these people.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw him doing with I think it was Mark Collett, if I'm not mistaken, right? Yeah. And he asked Mark Collett such a ridiculous, like the question itself was so like out of pocket, man. Right? He's basically making an excuse for the Nazi party, right? We played it here on the channel, anyways. But the way he put it, if you didn't catch it, you wouldn't catch it.
Right? I remember seeing Daniel's interview with Mark Collett, or debate as he called it, but he seemed to not know anything about him. He was very unprepared for that discussion.
Well, I think that was intentional because for sure he knows Mark Collett and he knows what he's doing. But I think what he was trying to do was introduce the Muslims to an actual white supremacist, and he successfully did that because after he did that Brofest thing, right? He found Muslims saying, "Yeah, we should work with the white nationalists and blah 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 blah." And it just went like wildfire. And everywhere we go now, you find Muslims saying, "Yeah, we should work with the white nationalists." Y'all are crazy. You're crazy. White nationalist? You're crazy, man. Like, pick up a history book. Like, what are you talking about? Just pick up any history book. Look what these people have actually done. Forget what they say. Look what they have done throughout history. 500 solid years of hell on earth because of these folks, and you want to work with them? You're tripping.
Was it white nationalists who are responsible for what's happened to
white nationalism? White nationalism is just a sanitizing of white supremacy. That's it. It evolves over time. Just as they started off as what you call it. the Catholic Church practicing racism. It just evolves, and then it turns into this new thing. So now they're saying white nationalists because they know that there is stigma behind saying white supremacists. You get me? So,
Yeah.
and then he's helping them. He's aiding them. He's a part of that 2025 project, bro. Like, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And who else is helping him now? You got Muhammad Hijab aiding and embedding. You got now, of course, Abdullah Andalusi aiding and embedding. You know, it's absolute insanity.
And you hear also in the Muslim world people pushing this idea that Jews are more intelligent than average, and they use the argument about Nobel Peace Prizes. More awards of the Nobel Peace Prize have gone to Jews than any other segment of genetic population.
I mean, Jews are just doing them. You get me?
This pushes the idea that intelligence and superiority is based on your genes. So it's the same argument of white supremacy, and Arabs will say the same thing, that we're better than other people because of our jints.
Well, what does Allah and the Prophet say?
Sallallahu Alaihi
Wasallam. What does Allah and the Prophet say? What did they say? Did they say that?
Inna akramakum indallahi atqakum.
The Prophet sallallahu right? Could he read?
He was ummi.
Yeah. So are these folks more intelligent than him?
Yeah. Well, don't know if I'd say that. Depends on the definition of intelligence.
No, they're not. That's the answer.
The answer is no. Yeah, you shouldn't have to think twice about that.
No, yeah, because for example, the IQ test, right? That is a supposed measure of intelligence.
Yeah, the actual answer is actually no.
Yeah.
Go ahead, brother Tawheed. What you got, man?
I don't know, but maybe the Israeli project is an extension of the white supremacy project.
What do you mean, like the Zionist?
Yeah, like I think it's connected.
Of course it is. They say it's connected.
How
right?
is it connected?
You see, actually, the way I look at it is, Zionism ending up in Palestine is somewhat of a sign from Allah. It's a sign from Allah, right? And it should be the biggest wake-up call for the Muslim world ever, right? Because the Zionists weren't offered Palestine at first. They were offered, I think it was Uganda, right? It was before World War II anyways, World War I, I think. They were offered a spot in Uganda to build their nation. Right, but it was Ben Gurion. I think it was Ben Gurion, if I'm not mistaken. Right, he said no, we want to end Palestine. Now, if they had chosen to build Israel in Africa, nobody would care because Africans are black. And you wouldn't find the protests that you find today.
You would.
If they were.
You would.
Because
look at South African apartheid. Yeah, there were protests all over the world. You also had, and that was also significantly a Jewish.
And why was that? Why was there a protest for the South African apartheid project? Why? You know why?
No, tell me.
The reason why there was a protest for the South African apartheid project is because at that time South Africa was trying to be mainstream.
Well, they were mainstream.
No, they were trying to be mainstream, and people were connecting South Africa, their apartheid project, with the American redlining project, which put a lot of pressure on the U.S. directly, right?
Yeah.
That's the only reason.
Brother, sorry, South Africa was already mainstream. They were never outcasts. They were, recognized as a normal society. Any dissension against South Africa was classed as terrorism, right?
What do you mean?
For example, Margaret
I don't
Thatcher,
know
they
what
classed it, the UK government, they classed the ANC as a terrorist organization. Mandela was classed as a terrorist. They already had good trade relations with South Africa. You had British companies out there. You had
I don't know anything about that. All I know is that Nelson Mandela was arrested. I believe it was in the 50s, right? And then sometime after that, countries all over the world started boycotting South Africa because of the apartheid state. And they were making the connection between South Africa and America. This is what I know. I know they did not have this. They did not have any normal trade relations whatsoever. And part of the deal of them ending apartheid was to make sure that the Boers could hold on to their economic infrastructure. And that's why they freed Nelson Mandela. And I did see him, by the way, when he came to Canada, right? And that's just some side information, right? That's why they freed him. And eventually he became president of South Africa because of the image. You're not going to free a black man from prison after spending 20 years in prison, 25 years in prison, and make him a president unless the infrastructure for holding on to your economy is already in place.
Yeah,
that was the deal. This is what I understand. I don't understand. I don't understand anything other than that, right?
A very swift point.
Go ahead.
The day that Nelson Mandela was released from prison was the day that Mike Tyson lost to Buster Douglas, and the newspaper front page in the UK was down and out. Down referring to Tyson and out referring to Nelson Mandela.
Nelson Mandela?
Yeah. The point I'm getting at is you asked the question, why were there protests against apartheid? What triggered the protests against apartheid? Because initially you said nobody would care if there was apartheid in Africa. And we said, well, Africa.
No, I said nobody would care. Nobody would care if Israel was in Africa.
Yeah, but they would not care. South Africa was there, right?
They would absolutely not care, right? And there would be no protests because right now we're witnessing the enslavement of Black Africans in Libya. There is no protest, right? Which is arguably some of the most brutal slavery that we've seen in human history, right? We're witnessing what has been going on in the Congo for just over a century now, with the French in there, and the genocide that's been happening there for like almost a century, right? Right now we're witnessing the looting of the resources of Africa with impunity and enslaving people on their own land. And nobody's saying anything because we all got cell phones and computers and cars and everybody needs the resources in Africa. If Israel was in Africa, nobody would say anything. There would be no global protests. There's no global protests right now for the Congo. There's no global protests right now for what's going on in Sudan. There's no, and which has been going on longer, by the way, than what's going on in
I get your point, but I don't think everything is aligned. I don't think your argument establishes your case. The people would protest if it was apartheid. Libya is not an apartheid state. The slavery that exists there, as I understand it, is due to the civil war that's taking place. And the people coming over as mercenaries or even just workers, who knows, coming in from other countries, and they're being taken or captured by the local population who don't want to participate in the civil war.
So are you saying that people are
handle them? They take them as slaves.
Are you saying people are protesting what's going on in Israel because in Israel, what's going on in Israel, Palestine? right? You're saying they're
Because it's
protesting
an
it because
official apartheid system, yeah.
that is not why they're protesting, bro.
Why are they protesting?
They're protesting because there's a genocide happening in front of people's eyes. That apartheid has been existing in Palestine for over 70 years.
Yeah,
The
but the
first
same
people-
people who are
the first-
protesting this
the
have
first-
been protesting against South African apartheid as well, and they also say
The
that
first
there's an
people to bring
apartheid in
attention,
Israel.
the first people to bring attention to what was going on in the West, anyways, right? To what's going on in Palestine were the Black civil rights movement leaders way back in the 60s. Nobody said anything then, right? And this has been going on every single year, right? With Black civil rights leaders in the West bringing attention to Palestine, right? Including when Arab, immigrants arrived. Nobody said anything then, right? The reason why people are protesting what's going on in Israel today, the 75-year 75-year apartheid, is because the genocide is being televised. Right? But we have seen televised genocides in Africa year after year after year, and no protests.
But they've been protesting
Right?
against
And the-
Israel
and the-
even when there was no genocide.
What's that?
There've been protests against Israel year after year as well.
Global?
Yeah,
On a global scale? Like this?
obviously not to this extent. Yeah, because
Okay,
there was
that's
never,
what I'm talking
There was
about.
never a mass slaughter to this extent as well.
That's what I'm talking about. That's why
They did
people are
mowing
protesting.
of the lawn and stuff, but it wasn't to this extent.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's why people are protesting, not because of the
It
apartheid.
used to last a few days and then it would stop.
Right?
But this is partially
But
because of
had it-
Israel's own marketing as well. They want to.
Had it been
Yeah, go on.
had it been black people? No way. No way. Anyways, brother Tawheed, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm,
Brother Tawheed?
yeah, I'm here.
Brother CL, hop on, man. Hop on if you got your
Someone
phone
give
ready.
support
Brother CL.
to Feachaz. He's feeling a bit of heat.
I'm still following the arguments right now. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me see if I can get another video for y'all. It's 11 o'clock. We can go late, man. It's no problem.
No,
man.
you're right in the sense that like Central African Republic was invaded by France. The Muslims were replaced in power by the French, and nobody kicked up a fuss. Nobody kicked up a fuss, and that's a Muslim country. 200 mosques were destroyed. Where's the outrage? Muslims.
I'll do you one better. When Europeans were in Africa and they were slaughtering Africans, right?
The Belgians, yeah.
The Belgians, especially the Belgians, even the British against the Mau Mau in Kenya, right? They would have photo ops of the atrocities that they committed,
Yeah.
like bragging rights. They would, and they're there for the world to see. They would show pictures of collections of skulls. They would show the hands that they chopped off of Congolese. They would show what they would do to the woman in Kenya and all kind of. It's madness.
Yeah.
These are the folks that are gonna say come back and save Black Africans, bro. And then you have basically this situation now going on in Palestine, and because it's being so widely televised, that's what is causing the outrage.
Bro,
Right,
this
but
shows
we
you
see-
that the Muslim impotence right now is so unbelievable. Because if you check it, Allah is giving success and victory, or when I say victory, He's given preference right now to people who He is angry with, al-maghdubi alayhim, and the dhalin, and even the mushrikeen of India, like pure shirk, filthy poo eaters and stuff, right? And these people have supremacy over Muslims. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
The state of Muslims today, the amount of fixing up we need to do is, I don't know, man. It's a worry.
Brother CL, what you got for us?
Assalamu alaikum.
What you got for us, brother?
I haven't caught the whole entire show. I've only been watching maybe 10 minutes. So you guys can continue. I'll jump in
Okay, let me just show one more video. Actually, no, let me just keep watching. We'll keep watching the one I have on my members, so y'all can see. Okay, but basically, I wasn't even planning to be 2 hours, but it's Saturday night, so why not?
I do want to make a
Right?
point. I do know what I do
Yeah,
have
go
a
ahead.
point. You mentioned
Go
the slavery of Africans
Libya.
in Libya. It's not just Libya either.
Yeah, it's not just Libya. Yeah,
It's really a systematic exploitation of Black Africans who are trying to get to Europe. And you have individuals they even pay money to tell them they're going to help them get to Europe, and then they end up in this situation, where they're being held against their will and just straight slave labor or being sold off. So these are people who are in the most vulnerable state, who are simply trying to get to Europe or somewhere else, for a better life. And many of them are Muslim, and they are making deals with other Muslims who just happen to be of a different color and ethnicity than them, and then they ended up being in this situation where they're being completely and totally exploited. And you got to think about it. If the men are being exploited in this way, what is happening to the women?
Exactly.
I mean, you don't even want to imagine what is probably happening to the women.
Yeah. And
this has been going on ever since the destabilization of that region.
Yeah.
Look, so, and the world has been absolutely silent about it. And the Ummah has been absolutely silent about it.
Yeah.
In fact, when I tried to bring it up on my channel, there were not all, but there were some Arabs who got upset about it. They don't
get upset at the misrepresentation of Arabs of enslaving actual Muslims and women and children and all kind of stuff, right? They don't get upset at that, forcing women into sex slavery and all kind of stuff, right? They're getting upset for you for pointing a light on that.
Exactly.
You get me? And that's what we're talking about. Like, what are you guys? What are we doing here? Why are you mad at me? You're not mad at them? See what I'm saying? But anyways, I want to show you all something.
Did you see this new movie that Saudi is very upset about?
Which one?
It's called Goat, something to do with goats. There's an Indian who gets a work visa to work in Saudi Arabia. And when he arrives, his employer is not there to pick him up. Somebody else picks him up. He thinks that's his kafil. And it's actually not his kafil anyway. And they take him to work in the desert. I don't want to spoil it for you, but he ended up being a slave, basically.
If they made that a movie,
it's a true story.
Yeah, if they made what I'm saying, if they made that a movie, I can tell you it's a true story because we hear stories like that in Saudi all the time. Like what you described, a story I actually heard with my own ears, maybe 15 years ago when I was in Saudi.
Bro, you've lived in Saudi, so I really recommend you watch this. You will feel its authenticity.
You just sparked my memory of something. You just sparked my. Remember, I think it was about a year or two ago. What happened with the Ethiopians?
Oh yes,
they were trying to sneak into Saudi. They got slaughtered.
Yeah.
United States didn't say or do anything about it. The so-called world.
But you know which YouTube channel covered it?
Feachaz.
Let's watch this, y'all. Watch this.
Okay.
I'm the leader of KKK, and I summon you to be the knight in China.
No, I'm KKK.
No, Nick, I'm KKK. I've got the AK-47 ready. Let's get the next George Floyd. Hey, look.
I got the AK-47. Let's get the next George Floyd. I'm the KKK. This is not some random guy off the street. This is, a celebrated Christian boxer. And this is the public.
He's talking about Ryan Garcia, right? He said, let's get George Floyd, all kind of stuff, right? I'm the KKK.
Ryan Garcia considered white?
No, he's like a Hispanic. He's Hispanic.
This is not like a private conversation he was having. This is He knew he was being recorded. He was on Twitter Space, and this is how he's talking. So clearly, he has some kind of mental issues. He definitely is a drug addict. Has some substance abuse problems, and this is where it's leading him to.
Hey, let's go bring George Floyd back to life and kill that again.
I'm gonna put my knee on his neck.
We need a scientist.
Yeah, bring George Floyd back, and we're gonna kill him again with our AK-47 because we're the KKK.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait. First of all, you're not gonna speed past that like you didn't just say what you just said.
So, in case you missed the joke, this is from Daniel Hakik, who's his Telegram. He writes with his own words, I wonder what Dr. Omar thinks about all the Shia practices of commemorating the births and the deaths of Ahlul Bayt. I guess people like George Fentanyl Floyd, you can't make this crap up. George Fentanyl Floyd and Makia Stabby Bryant, who were both also honored at this event, are more worthy of commemoration in his eyes. What else can we conclude? So not only does he, essentially defend the Rawafid, he defends the Rawafid at the same time pissing on the graves of George Floyd and Ma'Khia Bryant, but he has some work for Ryan Garcia? Like, what's going on here? What is going on here? Go ahead.
When he says fentanyl Floyd, that's an allusion to that's pointing to this conspiracy theory about George Floyd not dying from the actions of the police officer.
It's from the police officer.
Yeah.
So I've got a question.
Go ahead.
Feachaz and CLM. So where would the BLM movement fit in all of this? Like, who's supporting that? Like, what's
BLM movement
behind all of that? Where does this fit in?
That's over with. They went bankrupt.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was George
Soros.
And just so you know, in the UK, there's a big a big YouTube news channel for the right wing. It's called GB News.
Mm-hmm.
Surprisingly, that's also funded by George Soros. So George Soros is funding two sides of the same coin. He's funding the woke side and BLM and the stuff, and he's also funding the right wing people like GB News.
Well, actually,
why is he funding both sides?
We want to be accurate. First of all, the BLM slogan in the movement that came from the grassroots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When
that had nothing to do with the organization. The organization. The organization had. The Black Lives Matter protests had nothing to do with the actual organization. All right. That was a grassroots protest that spread internationally. And the organization was not doing anything. And we covered it. There was a channel called The Feachaz that covered this, right? And the first time the organization, the Black Lives Matter organization, organized a protest, it was about 2.5 months after the initial Black Lives Matter protest, the grassroots protest that took off, right? And they did it in New York. And it was Black Lives Matter protest tranny thing. That's what they did. Right. So the grassroots protesters were using the slogan Black Lives Matter. And really, most black folk, the grassroots anyway, don't want anything to do with the organization. But we will say Black Lives Matter as a
because Black Lives do matter.
Yeah, exactly.
Didn't one of the people take his shahada and move to a Muslim country recently?
I haven't heard anything like that.
I don't know anything about that either.
But if you really wanted to be conspiratorial, what would be the best if you wanted to kill all the protests that were going on about police brutality? If you wanted to discredit and kill it, what would be the best way to do it? Why not create a national organization that you fund and control, and then discredit that organization?
Yeah. Which has been, it's just an age-old plot of the enemies anyways. They've always done that.
Controlled opposition.
Yeah. They've done this since the civil rights era, right? It was a tactic of What's that guy's name? CL, leader of the FBI.
Cross-dresser.
Yeah.
May have undercoverly been black, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. What's his name?
Hoover.
Yes. J. Edgar Hoover. J. Edgar Hoover. Yeah. J. Edgar Hoover. Right. So it was a typical tactic of this. Yeah.
He had Melanesian blood in him.
Mm-hmm. Right, let's keep watching, y'all.
Let me go in on these niggas. What's up? Hey, niggas. Okay. Now what? No, really. That nigga. Relax. Let me go in on these niggas. What's up? Hey, you and Muslims that rape little kids. Bro, all you motherfuckers, bro. You guys are weird as all you Muslim ass, fucking weird ass fucker.
F all you Muslims. So he's addressing, this is addressing Muhammad hijab and addressing Muslims in general. F all of you.
You're gonna regret saying all.
So that's Sneeko. He's saying you're gonna regret saying all this.
Guess what? I will never be touched because I'm with God. I'm with Jesus.
I'll never be touched because I'm a god.
There's Andrew Tate. There's Zaddy. Look, you can't make this stuff up, man. You cannot make this stuff up. Look what Zaddy said. Okay, he's trying to, like everything that he's saying, they've already defended already.
But I think it's really go ahead. Now we're gonna
go ahead, CL.
I just think it's really cute that DH and certain others are, jumping on the we're against white supremacy tip all of a sudden, when it's
because
offended.
Because now Muslims are starting to ask them questions. Gee, I wonder why. They're starting to ask them questions even on their platforms.
Well, no, Ryan Garcia is not white, so they'll attack him, right?
No, he's white. He's a white Mexican.
He's Mexican.
Yeah, but Mexican.
He's not white.
Mexican is a Mexican. Mexico is a nation. Yeah. There are different ethnicities inside Mexico. So you have the conquistadors who came into South America, Central America, and the Caribbean, raping and pillaging and whatnot. And within Mexico, you have a racial hierarchy where the white European Spanish Mexicans rule and control and have the money. And then as you get darker, or you become you're a Native American or even black, because many African American slaves ran away. They didn't all go to the north. Some of them went south into Mexico. So if you're a Spanish Mexican, which in Spain is white, you're on a higher level than a darker skinned Mexican. So the darker you get, the lower you get.
To me, Ryan Garcia looks a little bit darker than a
Spaniard.
To me, because I know there are actual.
He's probably mixed.
There's Mormons in Mexico. There was a guy who was running for president, Mitt Romney. He's Mexican.
Yeah, his family still lives in Mexico.
Yeah, so that would be a white Mexican, because they're Mexicans, but they're whites.
Yeah, but
now,
it's
someone like that would not be attacked by Daniel Hakikati.
Yeah, he sees him. Ultimately he probably has some Native American Indian admixture inside of him, but obviously he doesn't claim that. He wants to see himself as white, so let him be white. Get over to that side.
Yeah, I get you.
And Daniel Hakikati again, like his whole hustle is not to make dawah. That's not what he does, right? Mm-hmm. What he does is that he is the main avenue where Muslims get funneled into the alt-right sector of the political spectrum. When Muslims start becoming alt-right, it's because of him. That's his job. His job is to make sure that Muslims become alt-right.
Now, we understand that from a grifting perspective, but is there any religious justification that they would use for that?
What do you mean? How can you justify driving Muslims to become alt-right?
Yeah, because
how can you justify?
Right?
They do have a religious justification for it, because I've spoken to them. I've spoken to some of them.
Yeah.
What did they say?
They use the same argument that the evangelical Christians use. or we're against wokeness, we're against the LGBTQ. So if you can't be with the woke people and the BLM people, we have to be with the Republicans and the alt-right, so we can oppose the influence of the LGBTQ on our children.
So what is the Islamic perspective for actually doing that? And what are they saying?
It's not joining the alt-right.
تعاونوا على البر والتقوى. Maybe that's what their argument is. Cooperating on
you did not just say that. you did not just say that.
That is something
you did not just say that. You cannot be serious.
They cooperate with
Donald Trump is ala birri wa taqwa. Donald Trump. You can't be serious right now, man. No. You know what I mean? Maybe they're saying that. It's very possible they're saying that. But if they are saying that,
okay. If an alien spaceship invaded the planet and we had to defend ourselves, would it be permissible to team up with the kuffar nations and fight against the aliens?
Moving on. Let me try to fix the sound on this video so we can play this one. Right, 1 second, yeah.
But there's an individual who's really been promoting that type of ideology for a couple of years. What is his name? He's a South Asian. They call him Sheikh Hussein something.
Uthman Farouk.
I
know you're talking about. Yeah. The old man.
The old man. He has,
accent. Yeah.
Yeah, he has these wild ideas about
Imran Hussein.
Imran Hussein, that's him.
Yeah.
He promotes that ideology of joining. We are to join forces with the, with Russia, join forces with the conservative Christians and the Orthodox Christians.
Yeah, he also says that Jesus was crucified, alayhi salam, and that Christians don't. Yeah, and the Christians don't have to convert to Islam to go to Jannah. So, so you know what I'm saying?
That's kufr. That's all kufr.
Yeah, of course it's kufr. So is white supremacy. White supremacy is open kufr. That's why I'm asking what is this justification that these people are using to enter the alt-right? Because it can't be ta'awun on the birri wa taqwa. Right? It's impossible. Unless you're telling me that these alt-righters are ala birri wa taqwa. Right? So it's somewhere along the line, that these kuffar ended up, owning the religion of Islam, and we have to work with them because it's our religious duty. Somebody has to explain this to me because I'm not getting it.
Sounds like a psyop.
Well,
can I give you a suggestion?
Go ahead.
Or an explanation. So in the UK, we have a sort of two groups. One group called the Civnats and the other called the Ethnats. So civic nationalists and ethno-nationalists. The ethno-nationalists are your traditional white nationalists, shall we say, like Mark Collett. They want England to be indigenous to a point of time where there was only a few certain ethnicities, nothing after that. Anyone else should be deported. And then but they don't want to interfere in international affairs. They just want to have their own borders and live comfortably here. Then you've got the Civnats. They're like, it doesn't matter what your ethnicity is. Once you've immigrated to the country, you're welcome, but we're united on nationality. So it's like a civic nationalism rather than it's not ethnicity based. And this Civnat group, so Tommy Robinson, he belongs to the Civnat group. He's not racist. What he is anti-Muslim, right? The one group that he's against is Muslims. And what happened is a few years back, the only opposition party for the far right was something called the BNP. Nick Griffin, who Dili Hussein interviewed, he was in charge of that group. They're ethno-nationalists. And then he was propositioned by the Israel lobby to say, listen, we give you 3 things that if you agree to, we'll support you. And if you disagree, we're going to get rid of you. The 3 things were, you have to don't criticize banks and interest. Number 2, be anti-Islam. And number 3, don't criticize Israel. Those were the three things. And he refused to agree to that. So he got sidelined by the media, he got pushed aside, and then they brought in Tommy Robinson as a sort of replacement. And so Tommy Robinson he fulfills those three pillars. Don't criticize Israel, don't criticize banks, and the third one, which I slipped my mind, which I just mentioned as well. So yeah, that's the groups that we have over here. Now, what you could possibly say is that the Sivnats, who push the woke agenda as well, the Dawa people may say, okay, this is a greater evil. So let's unite with the Ethnats against this greater evil who's affecting all of us. The Sivnats.
That's impossible. Islamically, it's impossible. It doesn't
They're
work
both
like
evil,
that.
but one is worse than the other. Yeah.
No. It does not work like that at all, right? At that case, you're talking about hijra, because there's no way, it's not even possible to work with one or the other, right? In this whatchamacallit scenario. It's not possible.
You've nailed it there. You said hijra, okay?
Yeah.
Now, how would hijra be possible? Right now, no Muslim countries allow hijra. Now, if the Ethnats come to power, they can do treaties with certain Muslim countries and say, listen, you have to take in the people that we deport, right? They have a treaty and they'll take them on. So they'll fund the repatriation of immigrants to Muslim lands. Okay? So this could be an argument. And this is the technique that Israel used to facilitate their hijra from Germany to Israel.
Well, to be quite honest, these Muslims that are immigrating to these non-Muslim lands, they're not coming to these non-Muslim lands to establish Islam to begin with.
I agree.
All right. So when they get into these issues now, these problems, the reason why they're getting into these problems is because they're comfortable in the lands, but they don't want to make dawah. They don't want to, have their toes stepped on. They just want to be a type of ethnic group inside of these lands that white people get along with. That's it. They're not willing to do the things that they have to do in order to make the religion strong. So instead of, being, strong on the religion itself, on the Quran and Sunnah, standing up firm on it, what they do is they invite these other weirdos to their platforms and say, yeah, we can work together against the liberals and stuff, right? That's what they do it, right? It has nothing to do with lesser two evils, right? It's just evil feeding on evil, and that's it.
No, there's
what I mean?
Different levels of evil, right? Like
there is, but who put these folks in charge of the affairs of the Muslims? Did the Muslims put these folks in charge of their affairs, or did they build their platforms through algorithmic, mastery, and they put themselves in charge of the affairs of the Muslims? Which one is the reality?
Who is in charge of the affairs of the Muslims?
I'm talking about these utopian elites.
Yeah, obviously they put themselves in those positions.
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah, but
so that's why they're making these weird scenarios.
So if you're in charge, right? What would you choose out of the two?
I would go and I would that's what I would do.
They've probably done that as well, right?
I'm not going to put myself in front of the affairs of the Muslims, and I definitely would not work with the absolute open enemies of Islam, talking about we got to work with the enemy of Islam to fight the other enemy of Islam. Right?
They're all enemies of Islam, right? But which option do you choose?
You do not choose to work with the enemy of Allah on earth. How is that possible? It's like, okay, I'm going to help Pharaoh fight Nimrud. Like, what are you talking about today?
You said you said the option is hijra, right? And we understood then that there is no possibility to do hijra. The one way you can make it happen is by teaming up with the Ethnats.
Yeah, that argument is finished.
Why?
That argument is finished. Why? Because if you're talking about the details from which you're speaking about, right? Who says we must work with them? When did this become whatchamacallit? A obligation in the religion?
What's the other option?
They are the ones who have to prove that we have to work with these white nationalists from the Quran. I don't have to prove anything. I can easily prove from the Quran and the Sunnah that we can't. It's haram to do it very easily. Yeah, right? They're the ones
the other option is your destruction.
So who says we're going to be destroyed? Says
yeah,
who?
I don't agree. I don't think we'd be destroyed.
Yeah, they're destroying you. Your offspring will have no religion left. They're being indoctrinated with all sorts of.
Yes, because you want to send your children to the schools of the enemy.
That is to their schools at some point.
That is a you problem. That is a you problem. Right?
Every year it's like boiling frogs.
So if your entire psychology, right, is, I got to get Zaddy in them to take care of us, then of course you're going to be under their thumb, because you don't see a world independent of Zaddy. You don't see that. All you see is building up the West and working together with your oppressor. That's what you see.
I agree with you. You made a good point about homeschooling and being responsible for yourself. The sad fact of the matter is the majority of Muslims are not capable of doing that. Right? They don't have the.
They can. They don't want to. They don't want. It's just like what. It's just like today, right? For example, we're talking about the overt racism that these YouTubers are involved in, right? Overt. They're not even trying to hide it. Okay. Yeah. Right. And we talked about that, right? And then the brother came on. Did he attack the racism of the racists that are doing the actual racism, or did he attack us? He could attack them if he wanted to.
Yeah, I missed that.
But he
yeah.
Well, I like it. I don't want to say attack, but he was, like I said, he was stunned that we were speaking like this. Yeah. But the correct thing to do was to speak like that. That is the correct thing. And the correct thing to do is to censor the ones who are pushing up racists. That's the correct thing to do. You don't censor the ones who are speaking against the racists. So is that right there. You can if you wanted to. The point is that you like, it's like the Prophet ﷺ said. You have a fear of death and a love of the dunya, and definitely the love of the dunya has taken over, especially the immigrant community. Especially
but right? So the homeschooling stuff still doesn't facilitate.
It doesn't even have to be a homeschool.
Well, whatever the option is, it doesn't facilitate hijrah to a Muslim land. A mass migration, it won't support it. It just means you're slowing the death of Muslims in the West. That's all it doing.
Not necessarily. I think you have a really bleak outlook. I don't see other religious groups have that. And I can't speak on the UK like that. But as far as North America, when the Jews move somewhere, what two institutions do they establish? No matter which group of Jews, no matter where.
Synagogues, schools, and banks.
Synagogues and schools. That's what I was going to say. Everything else, they're gonna establish those other things. But what are the first things they're gonna establish?
The first one is a synagogue, and the second one is school.
Exactly.
And sometimes the school is in the synagogue.
You can put them. You can put them both in the same exact facility if you wanted to. And you look at
masjid and madrasa as well.
Exactly. So you don't have to have, a system that's on par with the public school system to educate your child, and doesn't necessarily have. There's.
Yeah, I got that. CL brother.
You can have.
But the question is, how will that facilitate hijrah?
It may not facilitate.
The hijrah argument is finished. We're done with the hijrah thing.
Yeah, but
that part is done.
No, you said the solution is hijrah.
We're finished with that one now. We're finished with that one. The hijrah thing is done.
No, the whole reason we're talking about homeschooling and stuff is so that you don't have to cooperate with the ethnats to facilitate hijrah.
Well,
so then we're talking about how do you protect yourself then?
regardless
And
of
you're
what
saying
they
homeschooling.
do, but regardless of what they do or whatever their philosophy is, the Muslims shouldn't want them educating their children regardless.
Anyways,
You
yeah,
shouldn't want
that's the
anybody.
point.
You
That's
shouldn't
the
want
point.
anybody
That's where we're
educating your
at right
child.
now. Yeah.
It doesn't matter who's doing what or what the kuffar think or what they're doing or whether they're friendly or not friendly. The mindset should be we are supposed to educate these children ourselves.
Yeah. I think that exists to an extent, but for ethno-national immigrants. So you'll see certain ethnic groups have their own mosques and own madrasas. Yeah. And if you're not from those ethnic immigrant communities, then you're not part of it.
And that's
there isn't a united Muslim thing for all ethnicities. Yeah, I get it. It's the right idea, but it doesn't exist, and I don't know if it ever will exist. By the time you reach that point where it's possible, Muslim Ummah is dissipated.
But if in the UK setting, if the Muslims can't unite to build a school to educate children in their community because of division, then what is politics going to do for them? You can't. You can't be effective with politics unless you unite as a bloc.
The politics will be effective in the sense that the nationalists want you out of the country. Okay.
Let me know if y'all can hear this. Let me know if y'all can hear.
Can't hear it.
You getting sound?
No sound.
You getting no sound?
No sound.
What's going on here, man? I don't know why there's no sound. 1 second. Let me stop sharing. Okay, y'all can keep talking, man. I just want to figure out what's going on with this sound.
Yeah,
By the way, CL, let me just say as well that I think you got a really good way of articulating your points, and you're very calm in your demeanor. I really respect that. So big up. Yeah,
There's a brother who has a channel. He does a lot of content about education. What is his name?
Michael Abraham or Abraham Michael?
Yes, that's him.
Yeah.
He does a lot of content about education. I mean, I believe he's in America, but some of it probably applies to other Western nations. But in America, I'm not sure how it works in the UK. But in America, you have multiple different options. You have homeschooling, you have charter schools, you have private schools. Here in the area I'm at, because I'm in Southeast Michigan, Muslims have migrated and taken over a city called Hamtramck, to the point where the mayor is Muslim, the city council is Muslim, the board of education.
Bangladeshi area, or is that the?
It's Bangladeshi and Yemeni.
Okay.
So the north side is Bangladeshi and the south side is Yemeni. And they've basically taken over all the offices of the city. So that's who determines the curriculum of a school, what's going to go on in the school. The president doesn't determine, what's going to happen on a local level with a school.
So do their state schools teach LGBT?
No.
Okay.
I mean, of course they teach. They slip in. They all slip in the LGBT stuff, like being tolerant about LGBT, blah 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 blah. But there's no like sets of educational type things where they're explaining how to do sodomy or anything like that. But yeah, they do that. But that's just one example. If the city board, if the board of education in a particular city or area is majority Muslim or all Muslim, then that board decides the curriculum. That board decides what gets taught in that particular district. So it doesn't matter what the president thinks. It doesn't matter what the governor. The president can feel like LGBTQ blah 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 should be taught all he likes, but the president doesn't determine that in that particular district.
How is it living amongst them, being of a different ethnicity, even though they're Muslims?
Well, see, I don't live in Hamtramck. I actually stay in a completely different city. west of that. But I used to live in Dearborn, which is majority Arab. For me, it was fine. I got along with the only problem I had. The only problem I had when I lived in Dearborn was the Shia, because they used to call me Wahhabi. But besides that, I didn't have any issue. And I had friends who were Arab, and because we shared the same inclination for the Quran and the Sunnah, we got along pretty fine. But there were, as far as those who may have shown some type of anti-blackness, they didn't mess with me, and I didn't mess with them.
All right, family. If nobody else is coming on, I'll let you guys get some final words. We'll start with Expert. Go ahead.
Jazakallah khairah. I'd like to say thank you for the efforts you're putting in online, brother, with your channel, and the amount of output you're doing. It's enjoyable, and your content's pretty good. I don't always agree with everything you say, but definitely I do enjoy your opinions, mashallah. And I'd just like to encourage myself and you and everybody else to make our intentions purely for Allah, and remember that we're returning to Him, and just be sincere as much as we can. Big up.
Go ahead, Brother Tawheed. He's sleeping, I think. He fell asleep. Go ahead, Brother CL.
Yeah, so the Muslims in the West really have to get a little bit more sophisticated in their thinking and their understanding of how the West operates and the history of the West, especially among the immigrant brothers and sisters and the children of immigrants. From what I see from them, for the most part, is they're not very sophisticated. They don't understand the history of the countries that they are in. They don't understand how those countries operate. They don't understand the racial hierarchies and the systems that exist in those countries. On one hand, they want to they want to protest about the foreign policies of these particular countries as it relates to Philistine or other parts of the Arab world. But on the other hand, you want to cooperate with injustice that takes place on a domestic level. And you want to work within a system, and you want to placate and bend over backwards for that same system. That doesn't work. That doesn't even make any logical sense.
Absolutely, I agree with you 100%. And also, I just want to add, because just to get back into the reason why we did this live, is that in terms of Andrew Tate losing all of his stuff, okay, and Daigot taking all of his stuff. Why we did this live is because the close proximity that Muslims have chosen to be with Andrew Tate. He is going to jail. There's no doubt he's going to jail. And now we find Muslims always running defense for some of the most despicable characters on the internet. Absolutely despicable. People that aren't even religious don't want to deal with them because they're despicable. They're always in close proximity with them. They're always defending your Sneakos, your Andrew Tates, even with the most unexcusable things that nobody can possibly defend them on, right? And they're close proximity. Now you find them defending the guy in Telegram. What's his name again? Juval or whatever his name is, right? So whenever there is these charges of, SA or, child SA, whatever, why is it always this Muslim YouTubers defending this stuff? Why is it always a Muslim defending a white supremacist? But they have absolutely, no mercy on black converts when they come from the nation or whatnot. Or it's just crazy. It's absolutely crazy. All these videos against the nation, all kind of stuff, but you're going to invite Benjamin Owen to your channel? You must be sick. You must be sick, man. But anyways, we will close it out with that, inshallah.
Just one more
and
thing.
Go ahead, brother.
That shows you how the Muslims are not sophisticated. So on one hand, you complain about Islamophobia, you complain about Christian apologists making derogatory statements about the age of Aisha. That always comes up, right? But then you're online championing a sex offender.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound like a contradiction?
Yeah.
That doesn't sound
you're not just making it hard for yourselves. You're making it hard for all of us, because you are the ones who put yourselves forward, like we mentioned with Brother Expert. They are the ones who put themselves forward to represent the Muslims with these large channels, and they are the ones who decided to put the ulama to the wayside to make sure that they have Andrew Tate on their platform, telling the Muslims what they can and can't do and whatnot. They did this.
And their fans co-sign it.
And the fans co-sign it. You get me? So we absolutely, we not only do we not co-sign it, but we outright fight it. So.
You know what, brother? I remember when I think it was during COVID or around the BLM time that all these Dawa people were inviting you on their channels, or and then I don't know what happened. It stopped, and there's videos. I don't know if they're still there. And what happened?
No, they deleted the videos and stuff, right? Because I didn't know what's going on. I'm not like I keep saying, like, I'm on YouTube, but I'm not a YouTuber. I really did not know at that time. I was naive, like everybody else. I'm an older guy, so I did not grow up in the social media era. You know what I mean? We grew up in an era where you sat at the foot of scholars and ulama, and you read books and you studied books and you memorized. That's when we grew up. We didn't grow up, with a Facebook and a YouTube and all that kind of stuff. All that kind of stuff came afterwards. Yeah. Right.
You didn't have conferences with Daniel Hikichu there.
Yeah, we didn't. I couldn't even imagine myself. Like, we're older, right? So we don't watch folks like this, right? I've never watched a full Muhammad Hijab anything, or except the only thing I watched Muhammad Hijab full was his debate with David Wood, right? And from there, I was impressed with him. I was very impressed with him, right? And I loved him for the sake of Allah after watching that debate, right? But I didn't understand that these folks were running a business. I thought, I didn't get it. As a matter of fact, it was Brother Sajid who told me that you can make money off of this, and he's the one who told me to make a Patreon. It was Brother Sajid who told me to do that, because I wasn't doing this for the money. I did not do this for the money. You get me? Right? I did it because nobody else was doing it. That's it. That's why I did it. Right? So when I started off, basically blasting, Spubs and Troy and them, right? For all the stuff that they did and all the damage they caused, particularly in the Black community, right? That's how I started, right? And then I left that because you can't do that forever, right? So I said, let me just get into, because I don't see a single Muslim doing anything about Black issues. Let me get into that, okay? I started doing the Black issue stuff, right? And when I started doing that, I started noticing like the passive aggressiveness with these da'is towards Black folk and everything like that. And we left that stuff. But then we started seeing that the Muslims themselves were being affected by just racism, like just, And one of the first things I did was this video against Wajdi Akari, right? When he went after Sheikh Abu Toba, right? So when I started doing that stuff and defending black imams and stuff like that, that's when everything changed, right? From there, I became like you could say like a pariah against the YouTubians, because they're running a business.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm not running a business. Right. So things that I did, like on YouTube, like my debate with Danny Hakikachu got deleted. You know what I mean? And it's not just him; it's other channels too that aren't even Muslims. I will go on their channel, right? I would have a discussion. Next thing you know, the discussion just disappears, right? And I'm not being rude or anything like that. I wasn't rude to Danny Hakikachu first time I talked to him, right? They deleted the video. I didn't talk about Danny Hakikachu for almost like 6 or 7 months. I didn't say a single thing about him, right? But then he started doing crazy stuff. I didn't want to talk about him, right? But then when he started doing crazy stuff, I said that this guy is, pandering to the alt-right. And that video went crazy, okay? And that video's still on my channel anyways. It's a whole series, right? He was pandering to I said it maybe 4 years ago, right? Now you can't even deny what he is, because he is openly saying that the Muslims should listen to alt-right speakers, right? And he's saying it just like that. He's saying like, here are some far right speakers that Muslims can listen to, and he puts it on his Twitter or his X, whatever.
And
you get me?
What about Sajid? Are you and him okay now? Because I've not heard you mention him for a long time.
I never had a problem with Sajid. I didn't have a. He's the one who cut me off. Like, what am I supposed? And then when I made the videos on Wajdi, he came on my channel, tried to sabotage my channel, and him and Wajdi, they both tried to sabotage my channel, and they caused many people to leave my channel at that time, right? And so many people just unsubscribe. I'm like, cool. Like, what do you want me to do? You know what I'm saying? But that was the shucking and jive. And I didn't make a single video, even though he did all that stuff. Yeah. I didn't make a single video about him until he put out this video about the Somalian girl, right? Who said, "Are you black first or Muslim?" Yeah, right. When he did that, because remember, he's the one who brought Danny Hakikachu in. Right, he is the one who's defending Wajdi, right? Who's speaking about Sheikh Abu to all kind of craziness, Yeah. I don't speak I don't understand African American slang, and so he's talking about crazy. He's talking crazy, right? And he defended that, right? He defended the one who is pandering to the alt-right, Daniel Hakikachu. He did all that. I didn't say anything. The second this unknown Somalian woman says, I'm black first, not Muslim first. Now he can talk about racism. So I was like, oh hell no, right? And that's when the gloves came off, right? At that time, because I did. For me, my personality is not to talk about Muslims at all, right? Right, but you see what's happening on YouTube,
yeah, and
nobody's saying anything about it,
yeah.
Right. So if I don't say anything and you don't say anything, then what's going to happen? Mark my word, and about it's already happening anyways. But you're going to see many Muslims, right, openly calling themselves racist and white nationals and white supremacists. It's already happening anyways. They're already doing it.
Did you know what I mean? Interviewed by Dower Man as well?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
But did you get copies of these videos that they deleted, or you don't have them?
No, I don't really care about all that stuff, right? Yeah. I keep saying that, for us, especially Black Muslims, dogma is a side issue for us. We got way bigger problems than that. Way bigger, right? And the biggest problem right now for Muslims on social media spaces in 2024 is that their social media influencers are guiding them to actual kufr in the alt-right. That is actual kufr. Just like the Liberal Party is actual kufr, right? So this is and people are accepting this as somehow Islamic, right? They're siding with actual white supremacists. And the pushback is little to non-existent on this, which means more blessing for us. You know what I'm saying? Alhamdulillah. You know.
Not to mention that it's destroying the dawah in the African American community.
Yeah, it's destroying the dawah in general. Look, if you see what's happening on YouTube today, Muslims are getting eviscerated because of this stuff. Absolutely, this never happened, right? And I mentioned several times on the channel that there are certain channels that I will not mention on this channel because they're so dangerous that if Muslims found them, it would cause them to doubt Islam and leave Islam because of these YouTubians. Not in spite of them, because of them. Right? The way that they present the doubts, right? I saw one yesterday, a brand new one, man. This thing that this guy brought was crazy, man. I was like, what in the world is going on here? Right? So we don't mention channels like this. But if you don't correct this, if there's no record of course correction on this, then everyone will say that this is what the Muslims believe. Right? At least bare minimum, as small and rinky-dink as this channel is, it is putting an actual record to show that, yeah, somebody fought this stuff.
Yeah.
You get me?
Yeah.
But but that's just a short history there, expert. Right? I wasn't looking for no smoke. Okay. I wasn't trying to do any of that stuff. Right. I wasn't talking about Muslims. I was just talking about black issues, right? Black issues in the Muslim community. That's what I was talking about. And then the thing came out with Sheikh Abu Toba, right? I talked about that. The thing came out with Daniel Kikuju. I talked about that. And next thing you know, the thing that really caused me to talk about these guys the more was what happened at AIM conference. From there, I saw this is a really big problem. When they invited the first time I've ever seen in my life YouTubers to speak on a panel with actual scholars. Not only is just that concept very dangerous, but you're inviting Daniel Hakikachu on top of that. From there, that's when I started coming after these guys really hard. Only that time. Not before, right? Because and those who know me know that I don't like talking about other Muslims like that. If you know me, like I that's not something that I do, and it's something that I fear Allah with, you know, because everything I'm saying, I'm going to meet Allah with all of this stuff. I understand that. You get me? I have to answer to Allah. Why did you talk about Daniel? Why did you talk about Muhammad? Why did you talk about Ali? Why are you Wajdi? Why are you talking about?
Have you done anything on Faris?
No, I haven't done anything because I'm fearing Allah with that. You know what I mean? You know, I'm honestly, you know. But my habit really is before I talk about somebody, I make istikhara and then I'll talk about them. Right? Like once There's many people I talked about make istikhara, and then something happened, and I didn't talk about them at all, right? So, yeah.
But this thing, you know, this has been brewing for a long time.
Yeah.
I returned back to Islam in 2018, and when I returned, I heard this term "akhrite." I heard this term back then about Muslims who were inclined to the the alt-right back then. This is before George Floyd protests. This is before the virus lockdown. And when the George Floyd thing popped off, I remember I was on Facebook heavy at that time, and certain individuals from Zaytuna Institute making some wild statements, some wildly anti-black statements. And I had some back and forth with some of them on Facebook and got blocked. And I even remember seeing, and the thing about YouTube, you have no idea who you're watching, who's
watching you.
You don't know what you're watching. So I remember back before the pandemic, there was I kept seeing these little channels popping up. It was one channel with a woman from Canada who was supposed to be a revert, and she wore a niqab. And she was saying a lot of these alt-right talking points that we're hearing from these guys now back then, and then her channel just disappeared. It got really popular, then it just disappeared all of a sudden. That's what I'm saying. You don't know what you're looking at when you're on Facebook. You don't know who that is. But I remember this stuff back then, but it was really underground. It wasn't. To me, it didn't seem like it really popped off until after the George Floyd protests, and then after the pandemic. That's when it just started speeding up, and I think people realized that it was a way you can build a popular channel and make money.
Yeah.
You know, the three Muslims, are they in Canada or the United States?
I don't know, but those dudes are just the.
Have you interacted with
like
them?
like I said, for me, I can't watch that stuff.
You did the Sahara on them, I suppose.
Yeah. No, I did the Sahara on them too. I like all of them, right? But you know, I'm not a hater though. I don't just talk about anybody, right? Like I'm not a hater. You're doing your thing. You're making your money, whatever. On YouTube, I don't really care like that, right? Right, but those are the guys who brought Sneeko to the forefront.
Yeah, I'd never heard of him until they talked about him.
Yeah. It's those guys, right? You know, and really, it's like, have you ever heard of Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure?
Yeah.
It's like watching that, but with three Muslims. It's like watching that. Excellent. It's like watching stoners talk, bro. Like what? You know what I'm saying?
Well, one of them, yeah. I think one of them is a very quiet speaker. With pretty much.
That's how. But for me, I can't watch that stuff, man. It's just not for me. You know what I mean? I'm old school. If I'm gonna listen to something Islamic, I'm gonna go listen to maybe Sheikh Saleh Fawzan or Bilal Phillips or.
Abu Usama had a lecture I saw today.
Abu Usama is really nice. I like him. Yeah.
Very good one about prison life or something. It's very interesting.
Yeah. Abu Usama's lectures are usually pretty good. Sheikh Dawud Adib, whatever. This is who I'll listen to if I want Islamic anything, right? Okay. Why am I going to it's just weird. Like I'm not seeing it. You know what I mean? And I know I said I'm not a hater, but I'll admit I hate him just a little bit. Okay, most of the YouTubian that he leads, most Muslim YouTubers, they don't have talent anyways. They're not talent. They don't have talent or knowledge, but they know social media, right? Which is why they get a following, right? I'm a terrible YouTuber. Okay, I don't know social media like that, but I know what I'm talking about. At least I know what I'm talking about, right? So I'm just saying.
I mean, you got Patreon. Yeah, go on.
Yeah.
Definitely, some of these guys really understand how the algorithm works. I get that. They understand.
Yeah, they do. They do know how to do that, man. Which is why they do all this madness. You know what I mean? Which is why they'll push a Sneeko, they'll push a Tate, because they're not doing it because of the welfare of the Muslims. They're doing it because of the welfare of their channels. You get me? That's why they do this.
Maybe they got a combined intention of. Are
you joking me? You're joking right now, right?
But the reach of Islam
Let me
is
benefit
spreading,
the Muslims by inviting this pimp to my channel.
By talking and letting him Christian Peterson or whatever his name is. Yeah. Look at the reach that got.
Inviting this pimp to my channel so that he can teach these guys about masculinity. Yeah, that's great idea, buddy.
You know how much people must have became Muslim after that?
You're joking. You must be kidding.
I'm serious.
You must be.
Sneeko became Muslim, right? The Warner started practicing. There's a guy called Sunny Faz. I don't know if you've seen Sunny Faz. He used to do videos with his mum. Yeah, I think he took his shahada as well.
Yeah, really. And how was that working out for him? How was Sneeko's shahada working for him? How was he make dawah today, and then he's going to in hot tubs with OnlyFans host tomorrow? Like, is this what we doing? You know what I mean?
Subhanallah.
Yeah.
And like I said, you can't be fooled. People can't be easily manipulated by social media like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's how you know that the Dajjal, the infiltrated Dajjal is coming, man. Because wallahi, this wouldn't happen 15 years ago, 10 years, not even 10 years ago when it happened. Wallahi, it would never, right? But you can do it now because of like I said, the generation coming up. This is how they get their information. They get their information from social media. So they don't understand, sitting down at feet of scholars, listening to a 3-hour lecture, taking notes, memorizing book. They don't understand any of that stuff. They understand, oh, I can watch this debate and just say what he says and repeat what, you know what I'm saying? Just this high stimulus factor that is kicking in. And they're calling that down. And it's like, it's total insanity. And it's a total investment in your own indoctrination. And so people can say the most outlandish things, like she said. Yeah, that's what it is.
You can use that. You can use that.
Thanks, bro.
I don't require any
Dopamine
Dopamine
dawah. All right. Man, I mean, it's an insult to even use the word dawah.
Yeah, it's because it's not.
It's
not, man.
They're not even. It's not at this point. It's not even trying to put it
disguise
off.
itself.
It's not even disguising itself anymore.
Did you guys hear about Sheikh Uthman's new organization that he's formed, a Dawah organization, where they've got a scholar on board to sort of do tahakum to, yani, like any issues between sort of the Dawah personalities, they'd have to refer to a specific scholar within the board to solve the dispute or something.
And how do you enforce that? How do you?
So everyone would sign up. So you've got OMF, okay. You've got Muslim Lantern. You've got Muslim Lantern.
Oh dear Lord! Oh come on, man.
Bro. Sorry, quickly. Features. What do you think of the Muslim Lantern?
Please, I don't know.
Check out his videos of him at Speaker's Corner, and compare and contrast those pictures of him to when he's on his own channel. Tell me if you see a difference in complexion, and why that would be.
Complexion.
Sorry, go ahead.
Expand before we move on, expert.
All right. So when he's doing his own videos, right. So when he's at Speaker's Corner and he's on film there, we talked about that before. Yeah.
Don't talk about
when he's at Speaker's Corner, you see him in his natural light, and his skin complexion is one color there. When he's doing his own videos, you would think he's white. A completely different, and that's done, through software. It's not just natural, camera footage.
Well, I haven't made a video about the Muslim Lantern, so I don't really want to talk about him like that. But I will say that you are what you eat.
Why
and
would
you
somebody
also
whiten themselves on their own video?
But Aki, what you just came with this organization, it doesn't mean much, because social media is the wild, wild west. Anybody can spin up a channel. Anybody can post anything.
Like let's say he gets signatures off of, let's say, 25 Da'wah YouTube people, and now they all have agreed that they have to keep an in-house checking sort of basis whenever they disagree, right?
And it would that happened before, bro. You know that.
It would have to go
in the days of Brixton Mosque and what was that guy?
But that's just London, bro. That's just Brixton.
No, that was a few mosques in the UK, and they all signed up, and they had somebody called Ali Hassan Al-Ma'ribi to adjudicate between them. So he got them all to sign. That's his Spubs, Spubs, Abu Khadija, and these guys. They all signed this letter.
Yeah.
And they're gonna have an agreement and a truce, and then Spubs tore it up afterwards and said, "No, it's not binding."
Yeah, that was a big fitna. I remember.
Same thing will happen with this, I'm sure.
Okay, but that's in-house Salafia strictly type stuff, right? This is okay. Like, if this is formalized or it's manifested, I don't know. But he's mentioned that he's got Uthman Khamis on board, who's somewhat well known.
Dear Lord. Okay, just stop. Stop. Looky here, man. Even if they did, right? And I don't have any issues with Sheikh Uthman Khamis at all, right? Right, but even if they did, they would never, ever adhere to that.
Control this uncontrollable.
Yeah. You are talking about folks who are addicted to the clouts, and attention is the currency of the day. You get me?
It's not even that though. It's the way that people. If you're going to be on these platforms, you need to understand how the platform works and the history of social media itself. The algorithm is designed to promote trash.
Discord, which is why, in my humble opinion, all of these. Remember, Ali Dawah, he's the original Dawah guy on YouTube, right? The original, right? It was Ali Dawah, then Dawahman came, right? And then we started seeing some other folks, but Ali Dawah, he's really kind of got the. He's the one that really kind of got the ball. He's the one that really got the ball rolling, right? Yeah. And then YouTube started monetizing their things, right? And that's when we started seeing them changing their things. Like for those of you who have been watching Dawah on YouTube for a long time, you know that it kind of started at Speaker's Corner. Just did these old videos. Ali Dawah used to do these social experiments, and so that's how he started with Dawah, right? And then they ended up in Speaker's Corner, and it was good for a while. And then Speaker's Corner became a crap show, right? It really became terrible because all it turned into was a whole bunch of shouting matches, right? So you couldn't even do that anymore, right? It was just like terrible, right? And then eventually it started venturing into other things. So Ali Dawah used to put all of these whatchamacallits. Like what is that word when you put a title but it's not really about the video, you just put the title for views? Clickbait, yeah. He was the king of clickbait, okay? Like he mastered clickbait before YouTube cracked down on that. Right? But they were actually making pretty good videos. I used to enjoy those Dawah videos back then, right? But everything really changed, I think, is like what Brother CL said after COVID, right? Because they really started taking these weird positions, right? And things that they wouldn't even think about doing pre-COVID, right? And they all shifted out of the Dawah spaces into the alt-right spaces. So even if you look at people like Eddie from the Dean Show, right? He has always been exclusively about Dawah, right? All the way when he was in Saudi Arabia and he was like doing his little interviews, and he, and I said it before, I was saying he's a no talent, but we wasn't saying nothing about him. Okay, we let him do his little no talent stuff. Okay, with his interviews and stuff. Okay, right? And now if you go on his X and his Twitter and it's all MAGA. It's just MAGA. That's what he is now. You know what I mean? So they're doing that because of the business thing behind it. You get me? Where someone like me, I'm not doing it for the business. I'm doing it because this is the right thing to do, right? Which is why I'm broke. Which is why I ain't got no money.
If you really were going to have a social media commission to regulate online Dawah, one of the first rules I would come with was you need to go get a job.
I believe
job.
that. Yeah,
you go start a real business or go get a real job. You cannot sit on social media and make all your money off social media.
Yeah.
Well, this is now a job for people, right? This is an equivalent income.
Yeah, well, that's what it is. That's how Ali Dawah started. That's how Muhammad Ijab started. They turned their social media platforms into actual businesses, right? So once you were doing that, you have to stay with what's trending. You're forced to do that unless you have a niche market, which is profitable. So Dawah right now is not profitable. You get me? Because it got ruined with what happened in the way I see it. It got ruined with what started happening in Speaker's Corner with all the crap show that started, because people couldn't watch those videos anymore. It was just shouting matches, so it wasn't interesting. You know, you're watching people yell and insult each other, and it was like it just got stupid, right? You know, people used to watch the debates, but they were actual debates back then. You know, like you have one side, they would speak for like an hour or whatever, and the other side would speak an hour. You have a QA. It was an actual debate. Now what you have, because like Brother CL said, because the algorithms, it turns into like drama, and they call it debates. You know, you go in, you have a shouting match with somebody, argue, insult each other, whatever. You know, I cooked this person or whatever. I destroyed this. That's the title of the videos now. This person got destroyed. And that's what it is. It's all entertainment. It's like a 10-minute video, right, or whatever. And it's like it's just. For me, I can't do that nonsense, man. But go ahead, Brother Seal.
That last big so-called big debate that they just had with Myron Gaines, and you're reviving Sam Shamoun's career.
You're literally he was on his way out. Even the Christian apologists don't want him. They don't want to deal with him. The only Christian apologist I know that is helping him right now is Avery. That's the only guy that will work with him. All the old school guys don't want to deal with him at all. And here you come, damn, like he can shoot, giving him the bag. Like, this is crazy.
And there was a bag involved in that.
Yeah.
There was a bag because they contacted me. One of Sam Shamoun's closest friends and a guy who sets up debates all around the nation. He's been doing it for the last 15 years. Back when I was on Christian apologetics, he used to set up all the debates. And he's a Sudanese Christian now. He was Muslim, but he became Christian. And he texted me out of the blue. Hadn't spoken to this guy in 2 years. Texted me right before the debate happened, asking, was I interested in doing any debating? And I was like, no, I'm good. And then all of a sudden this debate happens, and I put 2 and 2 together. This is Sam Shamoun's boy. So he had to be working behind the scenes to put this together.
The scenes, yeah. Now, if Brother CL is not doing a debate, something's wrong with the Dawah, man. CL is an OG, okay? For y'all who don't know who CL is, CL used to be, he was Muslim. He left Islam, became a Christian, okay? But not just any type of Christian. He became a Christian apologist. He went and he studied Bible school, right? And alhamdulillah, Allah guided him back to Islam. So the resource of CL Edwards is absolutely invaluable because he knows about not only does he know about Christian apologia, but he knows about the Bible itself because he went and he got educated in it. Right?
But so if did you know Taqiyya Watch?
Yeah.
You knew Taqiyya Watch?
Yeah, all that stuff. Name whoever you want to name. I know them.
What? Sophia Films.
I probably got their phone number in my cell phone.
You know Sophia Films?
He's kind of new school.
So you know Taqiyya Watch. Were you there when he took his Shahada?
No.
Okay. So do you remember that?
Yeah, Brother CL. Brother CL used to go on panels with David Wood, right? He used to debate Muslims, right? But he's like an OG. Like he is an invaluable resource.
I did shows with Tommy Robinson. I did shows with what's his name, Faraj, the guy with the UK.
Nigel
Faraj.
Yeah.
You done shows with Nigel Faraj?
Yeah.
What?
I used to talk with me and Nigel used to talk offline.
What channel are these videos on?
You can look up some of these old, because they were a lot of these old videos are still archived on the Aramaic Broadcasting Network. So there's a lot of these old shows over there on. But subhanAllah, I highly recommend everybody don't watch that type of stuff, because you have to be as a Muslim, it's just not good to watch that type of content in general, unless you are well equipped and very fortified in your iman, and and when you listen to it and you watch it and you listen to it, you know the lies, and you know the trickery and the lies that are going on. Because if you don't know the lies and the trickery that's being said, then you open yourself up to fall with the tricks.
Yeah.
Because these people just one point, these people follow a methodology. They follow a methodology that goes back to the 1800s, actually, to the East Indian Company in the British Empire. It was. Oh, wow. Yes, this is all their talking points. All the talking points they use, all those arguments go back to the 1800s. They're old. They're old. Like a guy like Zimmerman. Zimmerman was a Christian apologist and
I remember
missionary.
Ahmed Didat. He mentioned this.
Yeah,
these Christian evangelists, they have history.
All this stuff. This goes back to the colonization of of India. They formulated all these arguments, all these talking points that they're using today. They're just rehashing them. And back then, the Christian missionaries, when they would go into the Muslim lands, their stated goal was not to convert Muslims to Christianity. So when they would send missionaries, the missionaries would stay there 5-10 years and fail, maybe get 2 or 3 converts, and they would fail at trying to convert the population. The stated mission was to make the Muslims either just become atheists or just become washed as a Muslim, just
as a Muslim. Yeah. And see, y'all, sorry to cut you off, but wallahi, billahi, talahi, right? Sam Shimon, he said exactly something like that on Avery's channel, right? He said that I ask our Lord, I only want the Muslims to leave Islam. I want all Muslims to leave Islam. He don't want Muslims to convert to Christianity. He wants Muslims to leave Islam.
Exactly.
That's his express goal. And this is what we're saying, right? So why are these Muslims now inviting people like Sam Shimon, who is a pariah? No Christian apologist will deal with him. He's a pariah in those circles. And you want to revive his dilapidated career? This is what they do. They revive the careers of people who are on their way out. And they say this is dawah.
And that's the grift, that these people understand they can go to the Muslims and they can go to Muslim audiences and get a whole new
career revitalization.
Yeah, they can get a rewind, they can get a reboot. They figured it out already.
Salaam Alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa
barakatuh. Brother Ala, go ahead, Sheikh.
I'm sorry, Akhi, barakallah feek. You may call me Sheikh because, Sheikh, you can call it to a religious man or an old man. So I consider that it's Sheikh as an old man because I'm 60 years old.
Yeah. Exactly. Brother Ali, every time you come here, you're a Sheikh, okay? So don't worry. We give you we give you respect as our elder and our older brother. So go ahead, Sheikh. Tafadal.
Sorry, brothers, I'm jumping off. Thanks.
Okay. Thank you, brother expert. Thanks for coming on. Jazakallah khair. Hayakumullah. Okay. Go ahead, brother Ali.
I was listening to you. Brother C.L. Edwards, you can't remember me, do you? Subhanallah, I recognized you last time from your voice, but I'm sure that you cannot recognize me. Me and some boy, we have long history together, 30 years ago, from the beginning of Palto. Sam, Rashid, Zakaria Butros, and after that David Wood, and they used to call me up live, just to debate with me and call me names. and my name was Macho Man 21. And you
Okay.
can watch some of those old debates on my channel, where he used to call me with Al Fadi live, just to curse me and call me names. You can't remember me, do you? You do not remember me, huh?
And you know that was so long. I used to be on that channel.
Yes, I know, Akhi. That's why I recognized your voice last time. As soon as I heard your voice, I recognized you from their TV show before with Zakaria Botros and those, you know, I don't want to. I recognized your voice, and Sam recognized me until nowadays, and he blocked me, and I caught him up several times in several non-Muslim channels, trying to talk to him. Let's debate with respect. Let's discuss. Let's have a discussions like old days. You know what he turned to do? He started cursing me, calling me names, insulting Prophet Muhammad, because he knows as soon as he do this, I'll leave. Then he'll say he run away. And you can watch this on my channel. I just wanted to share this with you, Ya Akhi. The guy doesn't care if you become a Christian or not. The guy, all he cares about is
you leave Islam.
And
yeah, that's
why?
it.
Because he make money, Ya Akhi. That's already source of income. That's his living. That's his job already, source of income. And he's rejected now by all those Christian apologists. That's what you see. Remember, they've been to Speaker's Corner, I think, last month or 2 months ago. All of them, all those people in America, they joined together and they moved to UK. He was not with them. They had their conference last month, and they even mentioned my name in the conference. They challenged me live in the conference. I don't want to talk about this, Barakallah. You can watch it in YouTube in their channels. They called me by name. Sam was not with them. Anthony Rogers knows me very good. And we talk together every now and then. And he's the one who called me. And he is the one who was the best friend of Sam. Now they are best enemy. See, everybody around him denied him. And a few days ago, he announced officially that he became a Catholic. And
he's been a Catholic for a number of years now.
Yeah, and he announced that just, I think, a few days ago, officially, that he adopted already, and he held the Catholicism. So this is Sam who doesn't care about anything as long as you give him, you know, cash. That's all.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is. Even all these.
Go ahead.
The Christian apologists of old are not like the new Christian apologists, right? Like the Christian apologists of old, they were actually educated, right? They knew their stuff, right? They knew what they were talking about, right? When you're looking at way back to the Ahmadiyya days and whatnot, and these Sharosh and all these kind of people, right? These are people who studied, right? But in 2024. None of these guys study at all. It's like I said, it's a money making machine, and Sam Shimon is unhirable, right? He's unemployable, right? So his only method of making money, right, especially since his divorce and whatnot, right, is through this type of stuff. Right, and he can't control himself anyways, which is why he's a pariah. And anyway, CL knows better than us anyway. You know, he know more. He knows all the background stuff, right?
Okay. If you want to offend him, just go to his channel, try to talk to him, and use the screen name Plumber. That's it. Call yourself the Plumber. That's if you use the Plumber, you will drive him crazy. You will drive him mad. And brother Sia knows why.
He's a piece of work. I got Sam Shimon's phone number. I can test it right now. Sam Shimon destroyed himself, first of all. Allah destroyed him. First of all, let's make that clear. Allah destroyed him. SubhanAllah ta'ala.
And in regard of every is a little kid. I joined his live stream several times. He kept me always backstage for more than 2 hours. And he never let me join him. And the last time was 3 days ago. And I have it all recorded. He said, I will never, ever let you join any one of my live stream because you are troll. Because he knows, by the will of Allah, if he will deal with an Arab, he will be totally destroyed. Because he claimed to know some Arabics, but he knows nothing. So
no, he doesn't know any Arabic at all. Yeah.
He claimed, you know, I am an Arab. I rather like in his debate with brother, John Friend. He said, I rather the original Arabic than the English. He said that in the debate. So Akil, being as an expert in Arabic, I've been asking him for so many times to accept my challenge, not him alone, with his cousin. What's the name of his cousin? FL, or what's the name? His partner. Both of them together. He refused. But I was able to talk to his cousin during the show of his cousin. We discussed for almost 20 minutes. Then at the end, he started cursing me and he kicked me out. He removed me from this. So those people care about this. You know, the more it's only show for them. It's money. It's all about money. And I doubt if they go even to the church. If they even go to the church, out. Subhanallah.
Yeah, you know, brother Allah, you know, these folks, as you said, they don't even go to church. You know, we said so long ago that they're not even Christian. These the new apologists are not Christian. At least the old apologists, you could say that they were Christian, but these guys are not. They are business people, right? And Avery, his superpower is that he's really, really, really good at YouTube. He's probably the best YouTuber out of the Christian apologist circles. Better than even David Wood. He's the best one I've seen, right? So he knows YouTube very, very, very well, and he makes a lot of money doing what he's doing, right? So there are a lot of videos refuting him, right? But he doesn't care about that because he's making money, right? But what will happen, because what's going on with Christian apologia right now is that it's dying out, right? And all these guys are doing different things, right? They're starting to do different things. So you see, like David Wood now, he's doing compilations with Apostate Prophet, who's an atheist. And I've said it before that David Wood, he's a closeted atheist. Right? He is an atheist, right? That's my belief. He's an atheist, right? But he's definitely not Christian, right? Avery's not a Christian, right? What kind of Christian doesn't go to church, right? What kind of Christian doesn't, study the Bible and stuff like that? He all his work is done on Google. You know what I mean? But these guys, the reason why they're able to make money is because of the participation of Muslims on their channels. And if Muslims did not participate, they would not make any money. And that's what started happening with a lot of these apologists, right? Muslims stopped participating. Like, what's that guy? What do you meme? And these other folks, right? And they started doing different things. They started getting into politics and all kind of stuff. And they'll do that. Go ahead, Brother Sia.
Yeah, I was going to say, David Wood and Sam Shimon, two things about them. Number one, they were recruited to do what they do. They were recruited to do what they do. They, from the time I first knew them, which was back in 2010, they were being financially backed by the Yahud and by Arab Christians and by the white evangelicals. They were getting money from all three of those different areas. The fallout. That's number one. Number two, the fallout between David and Sam and the Arab Christians who owned the television satellite, the network that they were dealing with, was over money, because I know everybody's heard of the Christian Broadcasting Network. The Christian Broadcasting Network found out about what the content that was being made, and they wanted to broadcast it on satellites, and they gave the Christian Arabs who owned the rights to it, they gave them cut them a big check, and Sam Shimon believed that he should have gotten a bigger cut of that big check. That's what all the fallout was over. Now they made the fallout appear to the public to be about theology. That Sam and David had a theological problem because Pentecostals, because some of the Christian Arabs had a Pentecostal leaning to them, and they were supposedly supposed to be Calvinist. That was fake. That was something that was made up. It was always about money. So Sam became all of a sudden he became this reformed Calvinist guy, and he had made a website and a blog where he was defending Calvinism. And if you know anything about Christian theology, Calvinism and Catholicism are polar opposites. It's like Sunni versus Shia, That's what the Calvinists and so he was supposed to be Reformed Calvinist, anti-Catholic. When all that stuff came out about his wife and all that fallout, and he was completely exposed for his what was going on in his personal life, and all that was exposed on the internet, and the Christians in the apologetics world were pretty much done with him. That's when he flipped and became a Catholic, and he started defending. He started talking about that. He started making videos and articles defending praying to Mary and the whole 9 yards, because he thought he needed another way to keep his career
to
going.
get in.
He needed another way to keep his career going, to stay relevant, and to find a new stream of donations. So that was what the whole thing was about.
Akhi, you said that he was introduced by Arab Christians. He was introduced,
The Arabic Broadcasting Network is what.
Yes. Al Hayat channel. It's channel Al Hayat by Zakaria Butros, whom they called Father Zakaria Butros, and Rashid, the guy from Morocco, and Osama Dakdouk, who still comes online now, whom I challenge several.
He's an absolute nut.
He knows nothing. He knows nothing. He blocked me as well. I challenged him. I said in Arabic or English, let's do it, and he blocked me.
Wallahi, a couple of years ago, I listened to that guy on Pal Talk, do a show. He claimed on the show that he went to the January 6th riot thing they had in Washington D.C. Right? He said he was there to hear the Trump speech, and he didn't. He said he left, and BLM tried to assassinate him.
What?
Yeah, I watched that. He said bullet, and he started showing that. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, he said.
What you talking about, Willis?
Wallahi, he said this. He made this claim. He said BLM tried to assassinate him.
He did video about this. You can watch it on YouTube, and he's showing everything with an action, and he said that's the bullet past my ear. He showed everything on video. You can watch it on YouTube in his channel about trying to assassinate him. He said that.
These guys are weirdos, man.
Now this guy, he made a new translation for the meaning of the Holy Quran that suit their understanding. And all those Christians online, like Sam or like Avery, when they quote you translation, sometimes they use his
translation.
Yes.
Wow.
Like when he say "Inni mutawaffika wa rafi'uka ilay," they write, "He caused me to die." That is the translation of this guy named Osama Dakdouk. It's not an Islamic.
My gosh.
Yes, they are using it, but so beware of them. Jazakallah khair once again.
He was even profiled on a lot of different CNN. They confronted him because he was making a lot of money. He was basically he still does. He just tours all across the United States of America, going to churches, going to conferences, selling that translation of the Quran that he has, selling his other books, basically telling people that the Muslims are terrorists and whatnot. It's all a scheme. They all have corporations. They all have either corporations or 501c3 nonprofit corporations, and they're making money. Some of them even get money from the government. Some of them were getting money from Homeland Security.
Yeah. So, but anyways, this is the longest live I've ever done on this channel. I've never done a live this long. I've never done a live this late. We've been very generous here with our time. And we hope you guys are generous with the channel as well. Support the channel. I want to thank my guests. I want to thank the brother Ala for hopping on again. Jazakumullah khair. You blessed us with your time twice today. I want to thank Brother Tawheed for joining us all night. Jazakumullah khair. You've been great. Who's the brother? What's the other brother that joined us? I can't remember his name. Right?
Expert.
Again?
Expert.
What is it? Expert. Yeah. And of course, the legend himself, Brother CL. Reactionary. Right. I want to thank all the guests as well. Thank you for so much for staying up with us this late at night. We really appreciate it, and we really appreciate your support the channel. Support us on Patreon. Support us on PayPal. Buy me a coffee as well. Right. And this is definitely a record night for the Feachaz. And I'm not working tomorrow anyway, so I got a day off, so I was able to do this live almost 4 hours now, right? But I will see you guys tomorrow. So we got another topic for you guys, right? And just keep your schedules open for tomorrow. We're not going to go that late though. We're going to go like earlier, inshallah, right? And subhanaka hamdik wa shala ant wa astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Wa assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And family. And free the land, beloved, free the land, beloved, free the